Me too. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
That's like start of the show.
Yeah.
We got some of that. We got a this day in history topic. We're gonna preview. We're gonna predict the pay-per-view. We're gonna preview Dynamite. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We should be going
That's right.
on.
In Your House is this weekend. That's right.
Yeah, this Sunday. And yes, we are live. Okay, cool.
Hell yeah, we're live.
And even though nobody's in the chat, I'm gonna put it out there anyway. Expect a form for NXT Takeover because Grandma will not be in Facebook jail, as far as I know.
The day ain't over yet. The day is not over yet.
No, I'm hoping she can make it out at least until the paper. Stay out at least until Monday morning so we can get this shit. Because what happened with Double or Nothing, we were setting up a form, and then Wendy went to Facebook jail the next day, and she was not getting out until the following Monday after Double or Nothing.
What did she do?
Supposedly? I don't know. It was some stupid comment about like a Harry Potter character, and they booted her ass.
That sounds about right.
Got her kicked off.
It was so stupid. It was. She showed me what it was, and I was like, "That's it." But either way, she was gonna be out until after Double or Nothing. Mm-hmm. And if y'all have been following us, if you've been in the group, and you know people find out that I'm making picks and I'm running the forum. Mm-hmm. You never hear the fucking end of it. Everybody bitches about cheating and collusion, and it's like, no, I'm just the greatest goddamn champ you ever seen, and I'm trying to help y'all catch up to me. I can't help it that you can't beat me. That's your problem. I ain't worried about you. I gave you an opportunity. If you don't want to take it, I'll shine.
Is that your heel promo we just heard?
That was an impromptu freestyle promo, heel style. That's what that was.
All right,
but so there was no way I was going to do it on my own because I knew if I won any kind of belt, even if I didn't win pretty platinum, if I was like one half of the tag champion, people were going to go on from Monday through Wednesday. You cheat. Oh, you're going to lose the title. Collusion.
You do cheat.
I mean, if it makes you feel better.
You know damn well, Brucey, I have won titles when people were in this form that aren't even in the group anymore.
I mean, if it makes
I was the first champion of the first group we were in that wasn't top rope.
I mean, if you want, you could literally just go and do what Playboy did. They started retirement schools from the party schools. You could just retire as like a permanent champ.
Right? One of these days I'll hang it up, but 20's not enough. I know. I skipped past Cena. I skipped past Flair. I'm trying to catch up to R-Truth. That's the legend.
Oh, damn, I missed him.
That is the man and the myth and the legend.
Honestly, he is a perfect example of pretty much making anything.
If they want to, if they want to run like 24/7, champion skits on Raw with R-Truth, I might tune in for that 5-10 minutes. I'm not now. So
honestly, I don't know why they still give him the USA belt. It makes it literally makes a lot of sense. The US belt literally has. I mean, they're trying to make it interesting and wanting, but
they're trying.
But it's just not. Because here's the thing, though. When they saw the 24/7 belt, everyone said,
you're about to hear somebody talk to you. Sorry. There you go. They don't hear that on YouTube, but we do.
Okay.
As of 2 episodes ago. Because you were here before, and I hit record and nothing. And we had Griff on as the special guest, and the very first time I hit the button, and it's like, this meeting is being recorded, and we're all like, because we don't know what the fuck is going on.
It's on. So I was always just like, he made the 24/7 belt relevant.
Yes.
And that belt is horrible looking.
It's terrible.
That's a terrible looking belt.
It's literally an old logo from when WWE had like on demand stuff prior to the network that they just took and made into a gold circular plate and slapped on a belt. That's it. I found it one day and put it up in Top Rope. I was like, there's your title. Like put in the Facebook group. There go your title right there.
You know what it was?
It's not pretty like mine and Pepsi Phil's.
Exactly.
Is the thing. Because see, I have that belt too. We're belt buddies, but I don't want to show up to the show with
I'm
the same
trying
belt.
to find an NWA belt from a reputable place, and I'm seeing some sketchy dudes online.
I'm gonna see if the guy I got this from has another one. I'll let you
Okay.
See, I know how they got the idea for that 24/7 title. Vince came in, he sat down at his billion-dollar dining room table, and they had like a green placemat, and they set down his gold plates.
Mm-hmm.
And he just looked down and said, "Oh shit, new title."
We're live.
I don't know what I walked into, but I'm okay with it. What's up, you guys?
We were just talking about the 24/7 title while we were waiting for you. How you doing?
Exactly. And the fact that R-Truth deserves better.
He really does, though. He really
Hundo P.
does. Hundo P, son. Like she's been on the show for all of, let's see, 8 seconds. Hundo P, son. You know what that means? Drink.
I'm about to say, you have your beverage.
So that was one.
Oh, I also like Hobbs to win the award for pettiest man in wrestling for the week last week. Jesus.
He is a bit of a petty motherfucker, but
and the best part was he goes, y'all thought y'all was gonna get 10.
Right?
I don't know. I can't remember who that dude was, but I hope he got paid extra. You know, somewhere in the back of his mind, he going, "This is gonna be on someone's highlight reel for the next 20
I need a
years.
bonus check on this bitch. You ain't gonna just do this to me for the regular rate." If Braun Strowman can get 5 figures to show up at a convention, you gonna give me a bonus check for this shit.
Save that.
I'm retiring because I'm not in WWE. I'm gonna keep getting them checks though.
Right?
You gotta keep getting paid somehow.
I don't buy
and
that.
Apparently a GoFundMe doesn't count. So
I'm sorry. I don't buy the whole I'm retiring thing. I just don't.
Also, hold on, wait. Let me know when we start the show because I got some comments on the releases.
Oh, we're gonna start in a minute. I'm sharing. I'm doing my social media thing. So
we just talking.
So we're just talking fun while I'm working.
So I'm also glad I now have a reason to go to Camille's Instagram besides Camille.
There's always a reason.
That's the only reason you need.
Camille on social media in general, like she's funny. She can inspire you every now and then. You know, she makes you feel good about yourself. You know,
hell of a thirst trap though. There's some hella thirst traps. Good lord,
a lot of thirst traps.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And I'm like, you're disguising them as my bodybuilding contest. I got to buff up for it, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Right. I was literally like, I was at the worst part of the lockdown. I was 5 minutes from going, you know what? Maybe I should join her Patreon.
Right. I was thinking about that myself. Like I was thinking about joining the whole Carneyland Patreon. I
actually wanted to as well, and then by the time I was going to, they just imploded and everybody went away.
Yeah. By the time I had made up my mind, all of a sudden it was gone.
So thank you.
Oh, so sad. So very, very sad.
And all I think to myself is, if it did not go away, we would not have LA, whatever.
Nice.
No, you mean Eli
Drake.
I will never use that name is not allowed on this show. It's Eli Drake.
That's the problem. And we're going to talk about In Your House too, so I don't want to get too deep into that. But he is no longer Eli Drake because this kind of stuff is beneath him. So he is not Eli Drake. We're starting the goddamn show. I just finished my social media bombing. So we
officially warmed up in the green room.
Yeah, he's getting outshined by. Well, never mind. Put a pin in that. Pipe down. We're gonna start. Can y'all see this shit?
Yep. It looks nice.
Ready, set, here you go. Living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss. Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on. Living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss.
Welcome to the newest episode of Top Rope Wrestling Talk. Dom almost knocked his camera over. I don't know if you.
No, it's my microphone. No, the camera is less expensive than the microphone. That would have been bad, y'all.
So yes, this is TRWT. This is Top Rope Wrestling Talk. We are the voices of the squared circle, and this is a wrestling show made by wrestling fans for wrestling fans. We hope you enjoy. Joining me, as always, is none other than the First Lady of Top Rope Wrestling, Miss Latina Heat herself, Grandma Wendy.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying. We lie, we cheat, we steal. We lie, we cheat, we steal. Mama, see now.
And
we lie, we cheat, we steal from Nick Aldis.
oh.
I had to throw it back. Sorry.
And also joining me, as always, is none other than the producer himself, the South Philly Psycho, the jack of all trades, the master of none, Dom.
Also known as the whole fucking show.
Hit it!
And joining us on our count up to 100.
On our road to 100
on
episodes.
our road to 100 episodes, none other than Pepsi Phil himself, the visiting champ. What is going on?
He doesn't
bud?
want to say it, so I'll say it for him. The Black Gorbachev.
Yes.
Last time it came on, he didn't want to say it, so I'm gonna say it. Pepsi
Actually
Phil, y'all.
forgot.
Hold up.
Wait. Pause for effect.
Yes. And I'm me, this
That
guy,
That
in the
motherfucker.
Burberry scarf, the MJF mark, the pinnacle of Top Rope Wrestling Talk, the high class one, Dom.
Bruce.
Better than you. And you know it, I'm better than
Yes, I am.
Still ain't got a belt.
And he knows it.
Yes, I do.
See?
Okay.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is so good to be back. It is so good to have Pepsi Phil and damn, be the Four Horsemen. And Lil Demon showed up too. Hey, man. Belated birthday. Uncle Psycho loves you. Go to bed. I'm tired of these kids and shit. No, I'm playing.
He's on summer vacation.
That's right. He ain't never sleeping.
Never. Never, ever.
Nope.
But and before we get too deep into anything, before we get anything going, I just want to say congratulations to Devin and Hafiz, who celebrated their 200th episode yesterday. I was definitely I was definitely all up in the live chat with them. It was their first live stream, and you know, they've always said that they kind of, you know, get inspired from stuff that we do. Like, they saw our group and they were like, oh, we want to do a group. Now they see he's doing live streams, they're like, we're going live.
Very nice.
Proud. So proud, guys. Congratulations. That's awesome. You guys are amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. Where the hell there it is.
Bravo.
Keep up the great work.
Light? Are you drinking Coors Light, Wendy?
No, I have more self-respect than that.
I would hope.
Is it a White Claw?
It's a sweet berry wine.
Oh,
In a can.
Wine in a can with a raccoon
Yeah,
on it.
check it out.
Oh, run, Brucey, run!
There's a llama and a rabbit.
Yeah, but there's a raccoon on it. You immediately terrified Bruce.
This is a collaboration from Graf Shared Universe with Bloom and Aslan Beer Company. I drink a lot of Aslan lately because they're just delicious
Lexi's
stuff.
in the chat with us.
Shout out to
already.
Aslan because they're good.
And shout out to Lexi, the first lady of Insubordinate.
Hey, Lexi.
We got so many first ladies in there.
You
know what that means? First ladies battle royal.
Oh, I want to see that.
I mean, get ready for some dirty fighting because I don't know how else to.
I think they both fight dirty though. So like,
Wait
I don't know.
I'm gonna be on the sidelines with popcorn. Wait.
They need to be. They need to be a tag team. They can't be feuding.
Hold on. So you're telling me that Wendy's not my brother, actually my sister? First
yes.
lady?
Yes.
No,
yes, that's why you introduced.
I'm a bro. All the
way. She's what I lovingly call a brosis. She's a little bit bruh. She's a little bit sis. She's just brosis.
It's better than what my brothers call me. They call me a dickless bro.
Much better. Much better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with the 10th wonder of the world.
And since we
I'm all about it.
Since we congratulated, we got a little off topic already. Can we turn back the clock for a minute? Can we just take it back on a Thursday? Can we throw it back on a Thursday? Just I say that because on this day, like a quarter of a century ago, Kevin Nash walked out on Nitro and ended the show with Scott Hall saying that the measuring stick has changed, which led to, I don't know, the NWO.
Who?
WCW almost putting WWE out of business, the form of Degeneration X. Let's not forget the Bullet Club. Then there was the Balor Club. Then there was the original club. Now we got the other Bullet Club in AEW. Then the Elite. Then the other Bullet Club. We had the ROH Bullet Club. We had...
Okay.
I'm pretty sure there's an independent Bullet Club that we don't even know about.
There's actually a Samoan dynasty in the Indies.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is led by Junior Fatu.
That is true. They're not exactly, but close enough.
The root of it all.
I'm just saying, if you keep digging, you're gonna find some kind of NWO Bullet Club influence. So. Yeah. Since we got into that, I was going to give me your favorite, any of them, NWO Bullet Club moment, just off the top of your head.
One that lives in my head rent free is when they beat up Captain New Japan and Prince Devitt was just yelling, "Fuck you, Captain New Japan! Fuck you, Captain New Japan!" Fucking hysterical. It pops into my head randomly.
First of all, I completely forgot about that.
I did too.
I want to take it back to the original NWO, and Wendy's gonna love me for this. When Kevin Nash used Rey Mysterio like a dart.
That was awesome.
Just right up against the side of that trailer. Just, bah!
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful. Next to the third man thing and having it be Hulk and then turn it into Hollywood, like that was huge. But every time I think NWO, the first thing that pops in my head is Rey Mysterio just going right face first into that trailer.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, mine probably is Goldberg coming in after Hogan dropped the belt. Like he was about to do some damage. So remember, they do the whole thing where it's like, Goldberg's coming. And he shows up he's coming to the ring. And apparently, I guess for whatever reason, Hogan and Nash were doing their thing, and at that point, Hogan he was pretty much unstoppable. He shows up and pretty much gets kind of the crap kicked out of him.
Doom.
Yeah, and it was just it was at that one point where you just realized that the NWO was going to be a thing. I mean, I was actually never happy with them at all. Like
never.
Honestly, even when they went the red and black thing, I was never a fan of them.
That's when they lost me. That's when they lost me.
Oh, come on.
When they had like the 50 million factions and it was like NWO Wolfpack,
LWO.
Well, yeah, at that point.
Although I will say this though, I did laugh my ass off with the Blue World Order.
The Blue World Order was hilarious. Big
But it's
Stevie
funny we're discussing this
Cool.
because this just came up on my news feed or my timeline, whatever, on Facebook, and it's the JWO.
Oh, the
That's the World
Juggalo
Order.
World Order. I remember that.
Yes. Yes, I saw that where
I
it was
will
like
give them
Scott
credit.
Hall and DDP and like the hockey jerseys.
I will give ICP credit. They actually looked like they cared about wrestling at a time when they was.
Oh, yeah.
WCW was just bringing in anybody to wrestle, and I can literally all you had to do was sneeze on a WCW.
If you were a musician, you had your way into WCW. Like they just let you in the back and put you in the ring. You could be
Very
Kiss.
true.
You could be the Misfits. You could be anybody from No Limit. You could
Two
be
words.
the Juggalos. You
Two
could
words. To this day, my favorite useless wrestler, quote unquote, was Big Swole. He only had one move. He had that one punch, and that was his entire repertoire. Didn't wrestle.
Oh yeah, the No Limit bodyguard.
The No
For a second,
Limit
I thought you meant
bodyguard.
like Big Swole AEW. I
Oh,
was like,
no.
How could I forget the finger poke of doom? Thank you.
Yeah,
everybody.
That's the one. That's the one I'm talking. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. That was
And honestly, I think the point where I realized that they were garbage, and this is me being old school, when they actually spray painted NWO on the WCW belt, that was where
awesome.
like you disrespectful sons of bitches.
Yeah.
And Hogan walks out playing it like a guitar.
That was
Kyle
for me
O'Reilly
was the
does it.
opposite. That was the
Although
moment I fell in
honestly,
love with
that was
with
probably the only time in my life I actually enjoyed Hulk Hogan.
yeah.
The Hollywood era. He was such a dick.
He played
Like,
himself. In between
like
that
this.
and what was the other one? That and his TV show Trouble in Hot. Was it Trouble in Paradise?
Trouble in Paradise.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, that TV show inspired Kofi Kingston. No, I'm totally playing.
Oh.
Do not quote me on that one. That is total kayfabe.
Like I'm not even.
Alvaro with the Jimi Hendrix song,
Yes.
Voodoo Child. That was it.
Which no one knew it was a Jimi Hendrix song when it
No,
came
no
out.
I
one did.
did.
I mean,
I love
you
Jimmy.
did?
I heard that. I was like, oh shit, coming out the Voodoo Child. Wow.
I'm sitting here just going, y'all really thought Hogan invented that song?
No.
Please, Lord, tell me that's not what just happened.
I heard a lot of Mark's feelings playing him the song from the Jimi Hendrix album back in the day. I was like, watch this, drop the needle. I hear I'm like, see.
So, but yes, I will give you are right. The NWO, that was a moment in time that honestly kind of turned, like shall we say, was a turning point. Not unlike Gettysburg, where pretty much like that's when wrestling became.
Yeah,
that's when it became a thing, like an actual, like a moment in time. I really.
There were the two polarizing moments for the NWO was when Hogan became the third man. You thought, oh shit, they got something here. Like you never thought like Hollywood until it happened. And then the finger poke of doom later on was another polarizing moment, but for the completely different reason. Like you went from, oh shit, they got something here. They might actually have WWE by the balls to, oh shit, WCW is losing, y'all. That was the moment. That finger poke, you were like, they're done.
Well, it really was kind of one of those. You know how to. I mean, you spent like how many years teaching us how the business is supposed to work, and then y'all do that,
right?
Like I think the thing that really killed just the NWO period was when they had 95% of the roster in the NWO. Like
and the other 5% some other WO.
It was like 95 to 97% of the roster was NWO and 3% was WCW, and most of that was Sting.
I mean, like honestly, I reached a point where I only wanted to watch the mid cards go. Like that's all I cared about.
During that run, WCW like had those moments that were huge. Like I said, Hogan joining them, and then Crow Sting popping out of nowhere. You were like, what the fuck is this? Because up until then, you'd never seen it. Sting was blonde box top, pastel colors and shit, and all of a sudden he's in the crowd. He's up in the rafters. He's got a fucking crow on his arm. He's wearing a black leather jacket. He's got the white black paint. You're like, oh shit! Wait! What is this? Is he joining the NWO? I don't get it. He's like the only one left on WCW's roster. He can't join the NWO. That ain't gonna work.
Everybody else was leaving. So wait, here's an example.
Oh shit, Devin, what's up, fam? What's up, fam? Shit, the tribal chief of podcasting is in our live chat right now, and he probably missed us giving him the shout out too. Oh, calm down, Brucey. It's the celebration.
I'm just messing around.
They hit 200. We're on the road to 100.
That is so awesome.
It's a good day.
That's also, awesome. I'm happy for him.
Also, here's an example of a gimmick working too well. It's hot as Jack Balls up in this jacket, so I'm gonna take.
He's gonna have to take his varsity blonde jacket off.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to go back to that real quick. Do we have anything else we want to throw in on top of the NWO Bullet Club stuff before we move?
Not really.
Okay. So skipping forward to how about this Tuesday? And I know you're probably thinking NXT, but that's not where I'm going. On it, right at the very beginning of NWA Power this week, it had William Patrick Corgan announce Mickie James, and then they came up with the announcement that NWA has an entire pay-per-view weekend in August, starting Saturday with a show called Empower, which will be an all-female pay-per-view produced by Mickie James. And I heard that and I went, no shit, for real.
I was like, good for you.
And Mickie got to speak on it, and she was saying, yeah, I don't care if you're under contract. I don't care if you're on the roster. I don't care where you come from. Show up on Saturday, August. I can't remember the day. Might have been 28th. I don't know. But show up on Saturday. Show up for Empower. We'll get you on the card. We'll put you in the ring. All wide open door. All are welcome. I'm like,
it's a brilliant move.
Yeah, like me and Dom were talking before the show and before you guys got in here, and I said, how awesome would it be if they had Camille versus Sheeta on that show?
I would lose my mind entirely.
I would lose my shit. Literally lose my shit at that.
I know. Even I would say, even if they brought in like Nyla to face Camille, and we got like this Andre the Giant flashback where Camille just picks the bitch up and slams her.
I mean, honestly, it's like I said, it reminds us. It's kind of like what that's what they did in Japan.
Because we know NWA is about that throwback stuff. Yeah. So if they recreate that moment with Camille and Nyla, where this is probably the first time Nyla's ever been slammed, and Camille picks her up in the middle of the ring, just drops her.
I think
Wendy's face.
Body slam.
Wendy's face. This is why you subscribe to Fox Den Productions. That face.
It's going to be in St. Louis between August 28th and 31st.
Yes. August 28th is Empower. August 29th is NWA's 73rd anniversary show.
73, yeah.
It's literally just a massive NWA weekend, which honestly,
pretty much, yeah, which is amazing.
I mean, I can't hold the title I stole from Nick Aldis and not talk about NWA. But this is for starters. I feel great for Mickie James because we've already talked about her tweets and stuff where she brought up Evolution and why there wasn't another one. And she brought up some issues about women's wrestling in general, women's wrestling in WWE, the way people were treated, what they're told. So for her to be able to get out here and bring us what is basically the second major all-women's pay-per-view in pro wrestling, I mean, she's got to be over the moon. I'm over the moon for her. Congratulations, Mickie. I don't know what else I do.
I mean, honestly, as an EP, I mean, I have faith in her. Pretty much, it's a hell of a good show. I mean, I'm not surprised she went to NWA. I am surprised she got that gig because I kind of figured she would go in there anyway. But I was like, I did not see that one coming at all.
No, me neither.
I appreciate how they're working around that 90-day clause, though.
A verbal agreement.
Yeah, and she's not wrestling; she's producing. Keep in mind, she's producing. She's not wrestling.
She's still not
NWA. I'm not even sure who it is, but they've had somebody showing up in a different colored luchador mask. He actually cut a promo, and the voice sounded so fucking familiar. And
I saw it.
But I feel like they're working around that 90-day doing this by putting it like he said, because he said, William knows who I am. Nobody else does. And you won't. Not yet. And I was like, you son of, I know you.
Yeah.
I know you. And I was trying to figure it out the whole hour. I couldn't, but he came out at the pay-per-view, he's wearing a gold mask. He came out on Power, he was wearing a silver mask. It was like, I know this motherfucker, but I couldn't figure out who it was.
It's like those mystery white airheads. You're like, I know this flavor. I know
this flavor. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you. Yes, you're like, damn, this flavor is so familiar. I know it. Whatever. And that was me with this dude. If he's not one of the WWE release people, then he swerved me something good because he had me thinking after that promo. I was like, I know you. I know you.
Actually, I have to give NWA credit. They have been taken on the chin for almost a year and a half. Like they have taken some beatings, and William Corgan has kept them going. And that's not true. William Corgan and Nick Aldis has kept them going. And I'm sitting here just going, I have no idea how that company did not fold because they had so many false starts and so it's stumbling blocks. But man, he got this women's thing. Their last pay-per-view was fire. Like I know some people complained about it because they didn't like all of it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I didn't watch it when it aired. I watched the re-air.
Right.
Even knowing what the spoilers were, it was great.
Now, I don't want to get away from this topic, but Kadrian just brought up something that we got to discuss. Obviously, Mickey's 90 days up in July, like the original cuts. He was saying, I'm still putting money on Mickey James being the Joker in the Women's Battle Royal at All Out, which is in September. So this is after the NWA Women's Show. All Out, she pops up as the Joker in the Casino Battle Royal at All Out.
I'd like to see Britt Baker versus Mickey James.
Yeah, that'd be a great
match. I'd pay money for that.
If you think about it, like Mickey has been in the ring with pretty much every major champion in WWE. Like that was her role. You know, going back all the way, she popped up in NXT as she fought Asuka when Asuka was undefeated. And put on a hell of a show. Lost, but put on a hell of a show.
Yeah.
So if they want to do something like that with like Mickey and Britt, it would be beautiful.
Do you guys think Mickey's going to be the Mae Young of our generation?
Yes.
Yes.
Pretty much. Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
I could see her being like old as dirt and still in the game. You know, I mean, I could see her being old as dirt and going through a table. I really could.
I was going to ask if Bubba was going to put her through a table as part of that. I mean,
it'll be, you know who it's going to be? It's going to be Devon's kids.
Yeah.
Terrence and Terrell. They're going to put her through a table. It's going to be like 80.
Yeah.
If you think about it, I actually like Mickey came in and she had one of the wackest gimmicks before when she first started wrestling, where basically she was just a valet who honestly was kind of insane. And out of that, she came out. What is she like? I think she's like a 3-time WWE Women's Champion, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
I think more than that.
And like she's a multi-top. I mean, whatever the equivalent of like I guess a Grand Slam Women's Champion for WWE is. I think she's in it. And so I don't see why. And honestly, I have seen you see her post. Like she really does care about women's business.
Oh, she does absolutely.
She really wants to be.
Oh yeah, she's like, okay, we had a women's evolution. Let's move forward with it. And it seems like people have been kind of dug in against like, no, this is good enough. What we got here, this is fine. This is all fine. And she doesn't think so. Hence, Empower in August.
Well, so here's a sideline.
She's a 6-time.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. So here's
six times.
Son of a bitch.
So here's the thing with Mickey. Like, so, and this is a side note. So I actually watched the Beth Phoenix Icons thing on WWE, which if you get a chance, I highly recommend it.
Oh, it's great.
So, but if you watch that and you watch how what they did to the women's division, it is like after China, it is shameful. Like,
really
genuinely shameful what they did to that division. Because you have, like, if you take Beth Phoenix and, like, that whole group, there was a group where that evolution could have started almost,
much sooner.
A decade or so.
They had a young Natalia.
Yep.
Yeah.
A young Beth Phoenix.
They have Mickey,
Trish, Lita.
Yeah, these were, like, legitimate. Like, now, like, we call them.
Even at that point, they had Jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially so. It's just like watching it is great, but at the same time, you just go, yeah, you guys could have literally been ahead of the curve on this one and actually had like
way ahead.
They literally, yeah.
Like instead of, no offense, I'm not trying to be. I'm just stating the facts. Instead of following up the knockouts division, you could have been like way ahead of them.
Oh,
so easy. I mean, my favorite is the look on Beth Phoenix's face when she has to explain when she won the Divas Championship after they changed it on her. And she was just like, the hell is this?
She's like, what do you want me to do with this?
Do I look like a princess to you?
No, but that's to be. It's great. If you haven't seen that Icons episode, you should. It's wonderful. Like it really is. And going back to Mickey, like I'm happy. I am happy for her, but like, good for you. Don't give up on what you set out to do in the first place, even if they're not gonna let you do it where you want it done. Keep to your guns. Mickey and I got a lot in common. We both used to live in Richmond. We both have sons named Donovan. Mine might have came first. I'm just saying.
You also married Nick Aldis.
No, they stole my son's name, so I stole his title. It's fair. It's only fair. Okay.
I mean, I'm sorry, because I kind of want to talk about the releases that came up, but not from the perspective of everyone else, because there is an interesting twist that I want to bring up, but I don't want to take away from Mickey's time.
No, I feel like I don't know about these guys, but I think I speak for them when I say go on.
We can roll through this. We can keep it going, man. Keep the ball rolling. What do we got?
We got plenty to talk about.
So we are playing. So I know everybody's like the most recent batch of releases got everyone speculating whether or not WWE selling. As much as horrible as it is, and trust me, Ruby Riott to this day, I will punch anyone who says that was a good call. But on the exact same time, here's the thing: getting released from WWE is kind of the equivalent of like graduating from Duke, going into the NBA. You literally have all the skills you need
to do anything.
Anything. Like how to work cameras, crowds. Like you have basically a graduate level.
You might have to adjust to the style, the in-ring when you get out of WWE, but everything else you are a master.
So
all the production, psychology, everything.
You get that solid foundation, but now you're given the freedom to do it how you want to with that knowledge. So it's like you come out with a benefit. It's like you said, it's like going from Duke to the NBA. Like it's
Yeah.
So glad that you used Duke best college basketball.
Sorry.
One of the best. Yes. One of the best.
So, but here's the thing though.
I'm still going with North Carolina.
I mean, honestly, because I just dawned on me when I looked at Andrade. He left, and I mean that dude has been he was annoyed. He learned what he needed, and he left, and he is a beast. Like he showed up on AEW looking pimped out,
I know everybody tries to talk about, and I'm a little too old to say this, but since everybody says it, I'm gonna fucking say it, and I'm gonna sound stupid saying it. I know everybody talks about Drip, talk about Nick Aldis, talk about Seth Rollins and his crazy ass suits and shit, but when you saw Andrade walk out, and then he popped his stuff open and said El Idolo
that was awesome.
That was beyond Drip. That was swag. That was pimping right there.
I was like, you know what?
That's my psycho soul. I was like, I want a suit just like that, and when I open it up, it's psycho.
He came out and it was just like, I mean, I know somebody probably screwed up in the back and didn't have his music hit, but he came out and he was just like, "What's up?"
It's like he didn't even need the music. He was just like, whatever, just let the fans cheer me. That's what
I think the best part about the whole thing is when he grabbed the microphone and spoke amazing English.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I know. I was so shocked. It's like Shinsuke Nakamura, no speaker English.
So
yeah.
And shout out to the Front Face Lock podcast, man. Welcome to the chat. First time ever. Wow. Yeah, even they're saying WWE is the big leagues, and they really are, but they prepare you for everything. So if you do leave,
I mean, like I said,
you're probably showing guys who have been outside WWE in another company, like, no, you're supposed to do it like this in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been pounded into you with the PC, and then when you move forward and everything else. So yeah, you might have to adjust as far as in ring style, but everything else, you're like, you got a PhD in when you walk out the door, and I think I think Andrade proved that Friday night.
I mean, I'm waiting to see what Aleister Black does. I'm sorry, Tommy.
I'm so excited for Tommy End, man. The end is near.
Didn't you say that WWE is looking to re-sign him?
There was some talk about that. Yes.
Had an interview with Mrs. Moxley, Renee, and they were talking about the matches that he wants to have and with the people he wants to have the matches with since he left WWE. Well, you had Moose and Sami Callihan from Impact. And then after that, you had Kenny Omega, you had Adam Page, you had I think Eddie Kingston and Moxley.
Kingston. Like there's a few on there between Callahan, Hangman, and Kingston. I'm like, I'm here for this.
So 90% of those people that he wanted to have a match with, all in AEW. All of them. And they're working with Impact so he could get the other two matches.
That might be that big bowl of foreshadowing. You never know, but
I mean,
either way, the end is near. And I got to say two things. I don't believe any of the stuff about them trying to re-sign Aleister Black because why would they let him go? It's been a week. It's been a week, maybe two at most. And I don't believe anything about these whole rumors that WWE is selling. I know like PETA and a few other people that come to our live chat have said, well, he sold the network. He sold the U.S. rights. Yeah. It's like this. Let me break it down for you real quick. I live in this house. I have a spare room. If somebody were to come to my house and say, you got a spare room, right? And I said, yeah. And they said, we'll give you $1 million to use that spare room, but you can keep using it however you use it. You can keep putting stuff in it. You could decorate it however you want. We just want to use it. So we're going to give you $1 million. I'd be like, fuck yeah, because it's a great deal. It doesn't mean I'm selling my house. It means I took a great deal for a ton of money. That's exactly what Vince McMahon did with Peacock. He gave away the U.S. rights. He still has the rest of the freaking planet. Because, by the way, we are only a small piece, y'all. I know everybody, Americans especially, won't believe like we're the shit. But we are a piece of the whole puzzle. He gave away the U.S. rights for $1 billion. Anybody would take that deal. Anybody. And he can still use it on Peacock and put content on it. They might not add it, but he can put it there. It's the best deal in the world. That does not mean he's going to sell the company. It means it was the best deal in the world, and he took it.
And honestly, following the releases, WWE stock went up by about 16 points. Yeah. So I mean, it's not like it isn't like a sell off where like they're desperate.
Thank you, front face lock. He said Vince's ego is too big for him to sell. I was saying the same thing last week. I was saying like, My Little Psycho, Brucey's High Class Kids are going to be the next gen of Top Rope Wrestling Talk. And they're going to be doing Vince McMahon impressions. And they're going to be bitching about how he still has all this power and control over the company. He's going to be like 126. And Brucey and I are going to be dead. And Vince McMahon will still be in charge. Okay, so mark my words.
So that's the question I have. When Vince finally leaves this mortal coil, who's going to run this joint? Like,
I would hope Triple H, because obviously look at everything he's done with NXT. Triple H is a very cool guy. He does things very differently. I think Top Dollar was talking about that. AJ from Most Wanted Treasures, aka Top Dollar from NXT, was talking about that on Busted Open Radio, how they allow a lot of creative freedom. They allow you to cut a promo, on and just get the bullet points like outside of WWE. And it works for them. NXT is, I don't know if it's the best promotion going, but it's definitely the best thing WWE's got going. And of course, you can thank Shawn Michaels, you can thank the Road Dogg, you can thank William Regal, all that, but none of it would be possible without Triple H.
No, it's true. Like I said,
so if you want all these changes that Triple H and the McMahon family said we were going to get 3 years ago, Triple H should be in charge.
You want to know who's going to run WWE after that old friggin' bat dies? His great grandkids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be Shane. It's not going to be Steph. It's not going to be Triple H.
No, when he, you know what's going to happen? Oh, I got an outside the box answer that will probably draw some heat. When Vince dies, Trips and Stephanie are going to sell the company to the Khan family, and then the Khan family are going to let -1 run it. Done.
Yes.
At me all you want.
Nope. They're gonna have that. They're gonna do the reunion. The invasion.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah, that stock never went up when I had a couple shares either. Front face lock. I feel you. We should have held on, man.
It's interesting how it's interesting.
We should have held on. We could have been the next Cameron Grimes. Just shit, look at
Oh
all
my
that. To the moon.
I don't understand. I'm gonna shit on Cameron Grimes for a minute.
Please do.
Okay. Let him shit on Cameron Grimes, and then we'll talk about takeover in your house because that'll be the perfect time.
Okay. I feel like Cameron Grimes is literally like that rebound part boyfriend that you get when you really looking for a great wrestler, except he's what shows up at your door, and you're just like,
oh
shit, I gotta get to the prom. Because honestly, that man, and his thing though, I got no problem with his in-ring work, but for the most part. But that man has been through more gimmicks than Macho Man had heel turns. God almighty.
kind of true though. He's not lying.
What else can they do? Like the only thing else they could do with that is just make him head of the Dark Order in the WWE at this point.
Like it's weird because they don't like change his. Well, I haven't seen it in a while. So is he still wearing that weird vest and the top hat?
No.
No.
Now he comes out. He's got a suit pant. He's got suit pants on and a blazer, no shirt. He's still got the hat, and he's got a ton of money because he hit on like the GameStop stock and Bitcoin and all that. So now he's rich. That's why Ted got involved in the first place. So
he's rich.
It's literally a millennial versus boomer storyline between old money versus new money.
Yeah, he's $1 million redneck because he invested in GameStop at the right time.
Oh Jesus!
Literally,
that's his gimmick now. Basically,
and in his defense, he trying to make it work. He is doing his damnedest to make it work.
It does though. I'll be honest, it does though, because like I couldn't stand like old Cameron Grimes. I was like, man, this motherfucker.
All right,
but seeing him like doing the little Ted DiBiase stuff in the background, and then having Ted show up and like outclass him in things, out pimp him on watches. I'm laughing like I'm actually like, holy shit, I'm enjoying this guy. I didn't up to that point, but I am now.
Here's my question. Are you enjoying Cameron Grimes? Or are you just enjoying the fact that Ted DiBiase knows how to cut a promo?
Okay, a low from column A and a low from column B, because I am enjoying Cameron Grimes a little bit, but at the same time, I am an old $1 million mark.
Mm-hmm.
That man was in the first match I ever saw live against Randy Savage, and I was 5 and I was hooked. And just watching Ted, like just that laugh and that swagger and all the money, it's just man, I loved him. I loved him then. I love him now. I love him forever. So when he walked back in the door, I was like,
he's doing his best to put Cameron Grimes over. Cameron Grimes.
Thanks to my original inner child, not the bingo hall kid. My original inner child. I am as big a mark for the $1 Million Man as like Bruce is for MJF.
I mean, I want the belt. I want that $1 million belt.
I'm gonna climb the ladder this weekend. I'm gonna take that damn belt. I'm gonna be at Brucey's house, just chilling on the couch with the $1 Million Championship.
Unlike this thing, I can wear that $1 million belt out in the street.
Sorry, Cameron. Sorry, not Eli. It's mine.
Not Eli. And
on that note, let's just start reviewing Takeover.
Let's start going through Takeover. Let's get our predictions on that sort of thing. Let's start with my computer working. That would be cool.
Might as well start with a ladder match, since that's where we
might as well. It's obviously it's the $1 million ladder match for the $1 million championship between Cameron Grimes and not Eli Drake, aka LA Knight, with obviously Ted DiBiase is going to be there, and whoever wins gets the championship, carries on Ted's legacy. Who do we see pulling this one out? Let's let the first lady chime in before we go. Let's try to be gentlemanly for once.
I'm hoping It's not Eli Drake. By not, I mean like not his name anymore, which makes me sad.
Not
but
Eli Drake.
It has to be him. It has to be him. If it's not him, it's such a missed opportunity.
As much as I want to see that happen, I want to see it happen for Eli Drake's sake. But as we said, he is not Eli Drake.
Yes, he is. He will
Cameron
always
Grimes.
be Eli Drake.
Not anymore. Watch him. It's not Eli Drake anymore. Cameron Grimes wins this. They've been building this story around him ever since before Ted popped into the picture. Ever since he got rich, it would make no sense at this point for him to lose this match. Like this is the easiest match to pick on the whole damn card. It's Cameron Grimes. Uh-oh. We're getting a phone call from the Raw general manager. What's he say? Hold up. Hello? He says we should watch. I'm not gonna. Anyway, Brucey.
Yes, honestly, this match is pointless to me because it's for a pointless title that means absolutely nothing.
Shut your whore mouth. MJF gets his fucking scars on Canal Street. There, I said it. Come after my man. I'm coming after you.
The FTW title means nothing, just like the $1 million title means.
Oh, you mean like that diamond ring on MJF's finger?
It don't mean shit. At least he defends it once a year.
I mean, he will be. I mean, technically, they defend
at All Out. He'll defend it for the second time.
That is true.
But what's the point of it?
There's no point. And Eli Drake is going to get buried because I refuse.
Wendy, we know what the point of that ring is.
I refuse. I refuse to call him the other name.
The other name, LA Knight. I'll say it for you.
It's Eli Drake is going to get buried again because Cameron Grimes is going to win this title because this whole storyline is based around him, and Eli Drake just got thrown in there at the last minute.
And honestly, I don't even know what LA. I'm sorry, not Eli Drake.
I'm sorry. I know he said it last night, but I got to bring up Front Face Lock's comment. He said Virgil's going to come in and screw them all.
I'm just saying the same thing.
Honestly.
He'd do it in a heartbeat. He'd ask for like 10 mil.
That. I love that.
I mean, honestly, the problem with not Eli Drake is that, I mean, even if
he's not
the belt, what would he do? Like Nicky said,
be not Eli Drake.
Not Eli Drake, but I mean, it's just like he would basically just be not Eli Drake pretending to be Eli Drake.
Eli Drake is he's got what it takes to main event.
Mm-hmm.
He does. Eli Drake has got what it takes to main event, and here he is being squashed by Bronson Reed, getting ready to lose to Cameron Grimes, not really winning or doing anything. And that's because he's the new EC3.
And that's because he's not Eli Drake. Exactly. If you're calling him the new EC3, you're calling him LA Knight, and you're booking him this way, it's not Eli Drake.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm pretty much betting that he has another 3-6 months before he leaves. Or he asked for his release, because I truly believe the only reason he ended up at WWE was because of the pandemic. Like he wanted that paycheck.
All right, so even the tribal chief of podcasting says he's definitely enjoying Cameron Grimes. So yeah, I'm enjoying it now.
Cameron Grimes.
Definitely
I can't fucking stand him.
I couldn't either, but I'm enjoying him now.
You enjoy the Ted DiBiase stink on him.
Yeah,
I'm not going to deny that part either.
DiBiase.
I love Ted, but Cameron has definitely grown on me in this new role, and I'm
the only reason I know that is because when Ted DiBiase Jr. was walking around, I couldn't stand him. They brought out his dad. I'm like, oh, they got something here.
Right? That was me too. I was like, oh man, Ted Jr., you can get the fuck out of here. You're kind of boring. And then Ted DiBiase showed up, and I was like, wait, this could get good.
Then I realized it was just his dad that did it.
Here's the thing: DiBiase Jr. was a great tag team wrestler, but he was not a good solo wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
He was amazing in tag teams.
No, he was not. He was not a great solo wrestler at all. He was good in tag teams. I mean, Cody Rhodes.
I mean, I liked him and Cody, but Cody wanted to be solo. Although he later on went to go wrestle with him.
Well, that didn't work out too well for young Cody, did it?
Yeah, it did now.
I mean, it did now, but in WWE.
It really did work out.
Look at that pyro.
Well, yeah, he get all the pyro now, but he's not WWE now, is he?
He's the only person I know that's had 10 theme songs in 2 years.
I'm always gonna ask if you were in that position, if you were in Cody's position where you're like an EVP and a big name and all this stuff, wouldn't you have all the pyro too? I know I would. I'd be like, hit everything, hit it all twice.
Oh,
absolutely.
I'm worth it.
I just feel bad for him. I just feel bad for him when he's not the main event. Everybody else comes out. It's just like,
and they just get like, and Cody opened the show and everywhere, all of it. And then Rusev comes out and he gets a little bang. You know, I mean, Miro, what the fuck was that?
I mean, he got
played the music. My bad, y'all.
I still think that's what happened with that barbed wire exploding match. Cody stole all the pyro for it.
Cody stole all the pyro. It makes more sense than a lot of the other theories. I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So let's move into the next match. I think we covered that one. This is I don't know if this is the first time in NXT, but it feels like it. We're having a winner takes all match for the NXT Tag Team and North American Championships. Bronson Reed and MSK are going to be defending against Legata del Fantasma.
I don't even understand how that works.
It's literally if anybody from Fantasma's team pins anybody on the other team, they all win the titles. Like Joaquin and
I understand that part. I'm just sitting there going, it's the like North American.
I don't really get it either. I've seen it a couple times in like Impact, but I don't remember seeing it in WWE. I don't remember seeing it on NXT.
If Fantasma wins, who gets the North American title?
My headphones broke. I'll be back.
Okay.
Oh, okay, Brucey, get you some headphones. That's
damn
technical malfunctions and shit. But yeah, if they win, I'm guessing Santos would take the North American title because he's been feuding with Bronson, and then his boys would take tag titles because they were already feuding with MSK leading into like after the Dusty Cup, even during.
Giving Santos the North American title just seems silly. Like, I'm just going from that perspective because I love
like he had said, he's looking at Bronson's North American Championship, and down the bottom there he sees Mexico. Who better to represent North America?
I'm sorry. Did you actually hear my brain come to a halt stop when you said that?
Right. It'd be like Taya Valkyrie walking out. I'm sorry, Frankie Monet walking out next and saying, you know what? On that title, I see Canada too. I want a shot.
That would be awesome, though.
That would be
It would be cool. I'm just saying, it's kind of mind blowing at the time because you don't think about it. You're just like, wait, oh yeah, Mexico is on that belt. I didn't even think about it.
I mean, I'm gonna pick Bronson and MSK only because of the fact it seems Bronson just got the belt, and honestly, he's doing a good job with it. I genuinely enjoy seeing it.
I'm amazed. I don't know about y'all, but I'm amazed Johnny Gargano's alive after that splash. Oh my God, the King of Splat Style put a little extra stank on that. From the top of the cage, like, oh.
Here is my question: is Johnny Gargano refusing to go to the main roster at this point?
I don't know.
What has that man not done?
I don't know. Nothing. Maybe he'll be next in line for the $1 million championship. He ain't won that yet. There's something. He hasn't been cruiserweight champ yet. He could do that. You know, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I don't want guys like Johnny Gargano or guys like Adam Cole to ever go to the main roster because they are way too small and they will get buried in a minute.
Oh, honestly, I don't know either, but I'm just surprised because it seems like they're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel for some of his stuff for him to do.
Yeah.
So, but
it's like we had I know you guys saw it. I had put up in Facebook in our Facebook group, like, who, with SmackDown's roster being kind of small, who would you see getting called up to that roster from NXT to kind of, bolster it? And I thought, man, they could probably not that I really want to see Austin Theory, but they could probably bring the entire way up to SmackDown, and you have places to plug them in immediately. Because like SmackDown has 2 female tag teams on it. Well, get Indy and Candice up there. Now you got another contender. Of course, they have to drop titles, but still. That could happen on a Tuesday and they could be there on a Friday. It's not that hard.
I mean, SmackDown's wide open. I heard a disturbing graphic that right now on the SmackDown roster, there's only 7 active women on the
Yes,
roster right now? 7.
I do.
Yeah, 7 women. That's what I'm saying. So if you got, Candice and Indy, I thought maybe EO, because EO had done damn near everything there was to do on NXT, like damn near everything.
I would like EO to get a shout out for literally the genius move of putting a giant trash can on her head, jumping off the top of the cage, not giving any kind of fucks whatsoever.
She never gives a fuck, man. Remember Takeover in Your House last year? She was flying off the house on Rhea and Charlotte to win the title. Like EO gives no fucks. That's why she's the genius of the sky. You can't be that and give a fuck at the same time. You're like, nope, I'm in it.
My first thought was that's hilarious, but that's also insane. What are you doing, woman?
Io Shirai's like, fucks? Who is that? I don't know her.
I don't know her. She don't go here. But now that Brucey's back, get back to the picks. I'm also gonna take Bronson and MSK because I just can't see 3 titles changing place, changing hands in the same match. That would just, I mean, it would be something different, but I don't even know if I'd want to see that. So give me the King of Splat style and the artist formerly known as the Rascals, and I'm out. Brucey snacking. Wendy, who you got in this one?
Thank you.
I can see the change happening because it would be fucking awesome to have those like in one solid group and have them be like the dominant heels, like, oh bitches, what's up,
You know what? The only reason I would like that is I would like if they were to win. I'm not saying I'm still picking Bronson in, but if let's take Wendy's point. If they do win, I would like to see like a heel on heel war between Legado del Fantasma and Hit Row, where you got like the elite, the snobs going up against the hood, because you can have that heel on heel crime when you got those levels. Like we're up here, we're rocking suits, we're taking limos, we're doing this. These guys, they're street, and obviously these guys are looking down on them until they get hit in the mouth by these guys. That type of storyline. It would be cool.
Like the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle.
Yes. It would be great.
First of all, I'm a big fan of like a faction getting all the belts. Like I'm a huge fan of like if it's just at the point where like every faction gets all the belts, I don't care. When Undisputed Era got all the gold,
that was amazing.
The Golden Prophecy.
I was just like,
that was amazing.
I had no problem with that. It was.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I loved it. I love seeing them pose and everything. All the gold, like, yep.
That was a good year. That was a good year on that one.
This is it. Take a look. I looked at Little Psycho. I was like, look at this, son. It don't get no better than this. This is what you watch for.
And then we had a divorce and a custody battle afterwards. It was just a horrible.
Yeah. We had a divorce. We had a custody battle. Kyle O'Reilly screaming, "You're not my dad," and dressing like Orange Cassidy.
Then it became
a whole ass thing.
It's still a whole ass thing. It ain't even over. We ain't even seen Roddy. He's probably out listening to the Misfits and drinking and shit.
All I know is they put I'm waiting for them to put Kyle on top of a ladder and fighting for custody. He's waiting for the ladder.
Then they're gonna fight for Bobby Fish. Okay, so hopefully this is giving High Class a chance to think. Who you got in this one? You got Bronson Reed and MSK or Legado del Fantasma?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I feel like Wendy's giving me dirty looks because I'm fucking this name up.
No, you're doing good.
Okay. Checking. Failed Spanish 4 times. Checking.
Phantasmo and his goons.
Really?
His goons.
Phantasmo, okay. Goons. I love it.
I mean, it's not a bad pick, and honestly, like I said,
it's not. I mean, this one could go either way, and obviously it went either way here because Pepsi Phil and I, we got Bronson and MSK, and these two got Legado del Fantasma. So,
although I am picking this one to be match of the night, though. I am picking.
It could be though. It really could.
I feel like
it's gonna be a great match. It's just a little weird to have all the belts defended in that one match because like Takeover, it's always okay. This match is going to be a 20-minute classic that's going to try and steal the show every fucking match.
Mm-hmm.
There's never a squash at Takeover ever. And so to have this weird match, it could be great, but it could go horribly wrong.
But here's the thing, though. Like, Triple H and NXT is always known for thinking outside the box.
True.
Oh, 100%.
And to have all these titles on the line in one match is way outside the box. And
Yes.
I think
Yes,
it works
it is.
for them.
No, you're absolutely right. And you know what, Devin, I kind of agree with that. Let Hit Row get all the singles titles in NXT. That worked too. I'm cool with that. So, all right, let's go to the next match, which will be how about Mercedes Martinez taking on Xia Li? This match, I mean, they've been talking about how it's 4 years in the making. Like these two were fighting outside of WWE. They've had this thing. Xia has been completely transformed into this badass, spooky ninja warrior by Tian Shaw, and we all know Mercedes Martinez. That bitch, she's just mean.
Yeah.
She fucking scares me, man. Just looking at her, I'm like,
and I'm sure she's proud.
funny.
I'm sure if she heard this, she'd probably be proud that I said that bitch just mean.
Her resting bitch face is a whole other level. It's like resting, I'm gonna eat your fucking baby's face.
Yeah,
like,
she had a
PhD.
She had a PhD in resting bitch face before resting bitch face was even a thing.
I mean, I genuinely enjoy the hell out of her because like intimidation is a hard thing to sell in wrestling, period.
Yeah, you are or you're not. You can't really fake it.
That woman, they tried to do it Ronda Rousey, she couldn't sell it. Mercedes Martinez shows up, and I'm trying to put out a police warrant out for her arrest.
Right.
Because I'm sitting here just going, I'll fight.
Like I'm signing the restraining order as she's hitting the ramp. Just
So I am really excited for this match. I don't know. It could literally go either way. Like
it's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. That's for sure. Because both these women are just like stiff.
What I will say, however, is this is the match where I think they both show up, and pretty much this is when they kind of like. I think this is when they hit that epic level where it's like you finally get to see what they can really do. Because I feel like Xia Li's been held back for a long time doing with these weird stuff. You're sitting there going, just let that woman beat the crap out of somebody. It's like the issue I have with Shayna Baszler right now on the main roster.
Yeah, let her be her.
just let her beat the crap out of somebody for a full 5 minutes.
They don't want her to outshine Ronda.
Yeah.
God forbid.
Yeah.
Maybe she will not come back another year.
I'm just sitting there going, I'm over here praying that her husband just keeps getting her pregnant. I ain't gonna lie.
I was not expecting that, but I like it. Thank you, Pepsi. That was beautiful. But yeah, it's so tough to pick somebody this, but if I had to, I gotta go with Xia. Like she's the one been built, and she's like Pepsi Phil said, she's been getting held back. And Mercedes will bounce back from this. Like she hasn't really established herself in NXT yet. She's been in a lot of good matches. She's come up short a lot of times. So if she comes up short again, you're just like, okay, it's not her time yet. Cool. But if Xia Li loses, you're like, what the fuck we do with her now? So I mean, she's undefeated at this moment. Like since she came back at Tian Shaw and traded in like the, what do they call them, like the Kabuki fans for fucking katanas and shit. She's been undefeated since she came back. So I gotta stick with Xia Li. I absolutely love her. I loved her with the fans and everything. I thought, oh, she's got something, but they just haven't found it yet. And then they found it.
I gotta tell you, it like I said, the biggest issue they've always had is how do they deal with their Asian wrestling. Like they've always had a problem with how to deal with their like. Honestly, I know we love EO, we love Oscar. I feel like they're like, can I just please do what I do? Just leave me alone. Stop writing me and let me do. Because I truly, like when they had the Kabuki Warriors, I know there ain't no way somebody came up with that idea in the back. That was them going, for the love of God, we just want to be scary women that just chase these fools down nonstop. Like that's all we want to do. We got the mag, we got the look. We did it in New Japan. So
right.
So I feel like they kind of have to give it to Xia too.
I want Martinez to win. I just like Martinez better. I think she's amazing in the ring, and She can't take too many more losses. She debuted on the friggin' main roster for one night and then got dropped back down. Like, she's been kind of meh. They've been booking her kind of meh. Like, I don't know. She's way better than what she's been getting treated.
Yeah.
This is true.
She put on some 5-star matches in the Mae Young Classic. If you don't believe me, go back.
She's put on 5-star matches everywhere she's been.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's nothing against Mercedes. I just think with all they've invested in Xia Li, they're not going to give up on that just to give Mercedes a win at Takeover.
I mean, but it's not unheard of for them to put that much work in it.
I'd love to see it. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, it's not unheard of for them just instantly go, we did this enough, and then just stop pushing somebody and have them disappear and give them something else. So,
because that's the thing. There's a couple of matches on this card where I'm like, man, I really like both these people. I don't want to pick, and this is one of them. Like, I love Xia. I love Mercedes.
I would love if this led to one of those, because I don't know why I enjoy these. That's it. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of being treated like a loser. And they go like bad, dirty heel and just like start winning, like real nasty, dirty wins, and just work their way up to the top real ugly. Like, I love that shit.
I feel like that's what we're gonna go for with Mercedes after Takeover. You know what I mean? Like that would be cool as hell. I'd love to see that too. Because it's nothing against Mercedes Martinez. I love that fucking woman. You know, all the women I was talking about when we first opened the show, whether it be Jazz or Beth Phoenix or whatever, like Mercedes Martinez is cut from that cloth.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
You can put her in there with any of them.
That bitch is tougher than a $2 steak and hotter than donut grease.
That bitch would beat my ass inside of 2 minutes, legit. Like,
I would let her beat down, so I would be safe.
Right?
Oh, I don't know him at all.
All right, so now we got everybody's picks for this one. It's going to be a good match regardless. It's definitely going to be brutal.
The Raquel Gonzalez.
We have, that's the next matchup, the NXT Women's Championship match. Raquel Gonzalez defending against Ember Moon.
Oh, Raquel's winning that. Get the fuck
again,
I love Ember Moon.
This is another one of the matches. I love both these women. Like Raquel has blown my mind. I've always loved Ember Moon. My wife got me into her when she first debuted in NXT, and I was like, yeah, she was pretty cool. And so this is like, again, don't make me pick.
Raquel's gonna win that one hands down. Like,
it's tough for me to say that, and I know my wife is probably going to give me, some grief for it after she sees this. But yeah, sorry, honey.
Raquel
Ember's losing. It's Raquel.
Raquel looked like she kicked people for fun, like
right?
outside of the performance center. She just walk outside, going boom.
Yeah, with that long ass leg of hers.
No.
Raquel's just walking around the back like, fuck Triple H, bow! Hey, Heartbreak Kid, bow!
And again, she's got that aura of intimidation where you just look at her.
No,
go, please don't hit me.
Yeah, please don't hurt me.
She's like the tallest Mexican I've ever seen. I'm like, what the fuck?
She
what kind of super arroz and frijoles were they feeding you?
I swear to God,
what did your mom put in your tortillas?
Right?
What the fuck?
Right, like she is probably
like
bigger.
Tortillas, man.
She is probably
like
bigger and in better shape than I am, which is scary as fuck.
Literally picked me up like a baby, like, and then just beat me into the abyss.
I think it was her, like Raquel Gonzalez. No, there's 2 points, but the one I really remember is when she came out. She actually came out in full China gear. Like, she did an entire tribute to China wearing the exact same outfit, and I was just sitting going, she gonna beat the shit out of somebody so hard.
Yeah, like she gonna kill somebody tonight.
Someone died. Somebody gonna get
like, and I feel like if Triple H showed up, he would have body slammed his ass. Let's go for China, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, if Triple H would have shown up, she'd have put him through a table.
The body them.
Because she could.
I actually think this is going to be a damn good match.
It will. It will.
Of
course it will.
Amazing.
Ember Moon is spectacular.
Yes.
Like she's fought
I don't
back
think
from
I've
some
ever been
serious
disappointed by a women's
injuries.
match in NXT.
But here's the thing, though. Ember Moon, another wrestler that honestly they don't know what to do with. I mean, I'm glad she's with Shotzi, and they had.
Blackheart Moon was a tremendous is a tremendous tag team. The way they ride out on the tank together, they got the matching shit. Like,
but honestly, I feel like Ember, they really don't know what to do with her either.
No, they don't.
And I mean, again, it's one of those. I think now, part of me thinks it's because she's outgrown NXT, and she needs a real run.
Well, yeah. I mean,
not gonna get
I've been saying the same thing about Finn Balor, but I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon either. You know,
Yeah.
they got a lot of veterans on NXT, and you're glad that they're there, but at the same time, you're like, why are they there?
They're supposed to be
like
a
Ember,
draft coming up.
Finn. Then you got Breezango. You know, like why
But
are they there?
but
WWE barely has a tag division. They got 2 sets of tag team titles, and Breezango is on NXT. Like, what the fuck is going on?
the truth, though, when Breezango was on NXT, you enjoy them.
Oh, you do. No,
But when they're on the main roster,
when they won those tag titles from Imperium, I damn near cried. I'm not even gonna lie.
The problem is that once they get on the main roster, it's like all of a sudden all that disappears, and they start all over like NXT never existed.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's what I've been saying all along. Like, if NXT is developmental, then how come when these people hit a main roster, they have to change them?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you already figure all that shit out back there?
Yeah, pretty much.
Isn't that
You
the point?
develop them, just let them keep going.
Unless you're saying they're a brand, and when they come over here, they gotta do something. Because if you recall, and sadly I do, ECW was not developmental. It was a brand when they rebooted it, and a lot of people when they came from ECW changed their style, changed their gimmicks, changed their side. Like if you were heel on ECW, now face in WWE, look at CM Punk.
Mhm.
It was ridiculous, but they considered ECW a brand.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like ECW was on TV, getting their pay-per-views, getting in on matches on pay-per-views with Raw and SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
NXT's not getting that.
No.
Not anymore, at least. I mean, what was the last one? Survivor Series a couple of years ago, which was amazing.
Pandemic.
And Bruce, you said a draft is coming up again soon.
Yes, after
Should be.
after SummerSlam, there's a rumored draft only for Raw and SmackDown.
Of course.
But NXT's roster is open to be picked from.
Poor NXT getting left out in the cold as usual.
I mean, all right. So you know what's the next one that comes up? You know what the next one is?
Karrion Kross.
Fatal Five.
There's no way, and that's where that is where we're headed. The NXT Championship match. It's going to be a Fatal 5-way, and as far as I know, it's one fall to a finish.
Mm-hmm.
They might change it, day of or whatever, but one fall, and it's Karrion Kross defending against Johnny Gargano, Kyle O'Reilly, Pete Dunne, and Adam Cole. And I'm gonna let y'all weigh in on this, but I have a quick take on this, and I'm gonna be done. Just hand Karrion Kross a fly swatter and let him move the fuck on. He retains. These little motherfucker. There is no way in hell. He is bigger than all 4 of those people put together. He will squash them.
It's like
bugs.
David and David and David and David versus Goliath case.
Yeah, but only in this case, David and David and David are gonna be fighting each other, and then Goliath's just gonna be sitting there like, okay, go ahead.
I mean, I heard this match. My very first thought was it's gonna be Karrion Kross because you literally have 2 people, maybe 3, of Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, and Johnny Gargano. And what are they known for? Taking the largest ass whoopings any wrestler has ever been.
Yes.
Like they are gifted for that ability.
And they all fucking hate each other. And then Pete Dunne hates all of them. And they've been fighting back and forth on NXT TV in the back and jumping in on each other's matches and shit. And Karrion Kross is just sitting there like, go ahead.
Okay, first of all, in Pete's defense, he hates everyblanco.
Well, yes, Pete Dunne does pretty much hate everybody that isn't Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
But Pom Blanco reference. Wow. He's actually not doing as bad on SmackDown as I thought, by the way. I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, I'm my money's on Kross.
Wait a minute. Did I adamantly defend Pat McAfee and then never tune in?
Yes, you did. Yes, you really did.
I was like, yeah, he'll be great. Never watches.
You were defending Pat McAfee. You were screaming you wanted the Juicy Usos back, and now it's all on SmackDown. And you're like, yeah, I still ain't watching.
I'm sorry. I'm just still waiting for that. I'm still waiting for the Uso meltdown. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I know. It's like Roman had said in that quote. They're cooking filet mignons over here. You got to wait for it. This ain't fast food.
So much pain. So
much. So this
mostly for the Juicy Usos, but so much pain.
This match has the potential to go very bad, very, very, very fast. We saw what happened when AEW did a 16-man tag team match. We saw what happened when the main roster put on a 5-man match for the I think it was the WWE title.
Yeah, let's not forget the 4-way Iron Man match when Cross got hurt that ended in a tie.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't even go to sudden death. They was like, "Oh, we'll have a match next week. Bye, guys."
It's this is a recipe for disaster. As far as winning, I would really like to see Pete Dunne win the title. I think
yes.
I knew you were going to say that.
And I really think Karrion Kross is getting called up.
It's too soon, man.
No, it's not.
It's too soon.
No, it's not.
They just dropped almost all their talent for SmackDown.
Is he gonna go to Raw and get dropped by Bobby, or is he gonna go to SmackDown and get dominated by Roman Reigns and then never be seen again? It's too soon.
No, they're gonna give him the story.
They're pulling up a whole bunch of talent from the PC and NXT.
I understand that they are, but there are so many other guys that have been around NXT, like 5 ever, that could get called up, and Karrion Kross is not even on it's nowhere near the top of that list.
This is my take. This is my take with Karrion Kross. They're going to bring him up and give him all the storylines they should have gave to Aleister Black.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
No,
I can see that happening, but I just
what they're gonna do.
I'm still looking at it, and all I can think is too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's too soon. They're building certain guys on NXT, like they're just starting to get Bronson into that championship level.
With Karrion Kross, everyone when he first started, they were like, "Why is he in NXT? Roster. He should be main roster already." And now he's about to get called up, and it's too soon.
Well, I never said he should be main roster.
But I'm saying, like, a lot of people were like hyping him up.
No, I was the guy that was like, "You go where your girl is." Like, if Scarlett's in NXT and you're in Impact, I got to get out of here. I got to go to NXT.
But here's the thing: if you stop and look at it, it's the same thing. They're basically pulling the same recipe with Karrion Kross that they did with Keith Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look how that happened. Look how that worked out, though.
Keith. Doesn't matter. History repeats itself every other month in WWE.
But that's what I mean. I do not want Karrion Kross to become the next Keith Lee. Like in NXT, yes. In WWE,
here's where I get
no.
Here's where I'm disappointed. So you get like a call up. You get Damian Priest called up, who basically at this point
he'll probably be one of them too.
Yep, he's basically become Costco Hawkeye at this point. Because God bless him, he came up and they gave him that horrible thing with Miz, Johnny Drip, and that zombie match. Which I'm gonna look past that because I'm not even mad at the zombie match.
Exactly.
It's just what are they doing with that man?
How does Devin get it and y'all don't? He's like, Karrion Kross will get called up and be turned into Mr. Cross or something on the main roster. Y'all sure you want this? I don't. I'm telling you, I can see Vince McMahon now just, we can call him Chris Cross Applesauce.
I never said I wanted it.
No.
I mean, nobody wants it.
Nobody said we wanted it. We just said, I didn't say I wanted it.
It's gonna happen.
I'm just asking. And I'm just asking all these people that were like, "Oh, he should have been called up."
There are now guys in NXT that I'm clinging to. Karrion Kross is one of those guys.
Yeah, but
and Adam Cole is another, because they will both be nothing on a main roster.
I agree.
Is null and void to what Vince McMahon wants to do.
Mm-hmm. I fully who was it? There was one. I forget which UK WWE UK wrestler they wanted to bring up, and he said no, and they buried him. Yeah,
it was Walter.
Yep, and they buried him. Because he said no, and part of it was to say he just didn't want to move. He just didn't want to move to the U.S.
Yeah, that was Walter. That was Walter.
So I'm just like, and you got Walter, who honestly you could work with Walter. Walter will do whatever you want. Like honestly, right now, I would literally just go for a match where he just chopped the shit out of people for at least a good feeling.
I gotta tell you, I know it hasn't happened in a while, but NXT used to do this show called When Worlds Collide.
Yes.
And it was NXT versus NXT UK. Mm-hmm. I would love, it doesn't have to be a title match, but I would love to see Karrion Kross against Walter.
Mm-hmm.
NXT champ versus NXT United Kingdom champ. That match, that shit's gonna be hard to watch in a good way.
Now, if you ask me if the long life of NXT like UK, I feel like they might be on the way out. I mean, I'm genuinely curious what they're doing with that brand. I mean, I don't know if it's just strictly UK, so there's kind of like they're limiting what they do here. But at this point,
I think it is.
I'm really wondering what they're doing with that brand, right?
Because between pandemic and then unfortunately the speaking out movement, a lot of people lost their jobs, and they've been back and they're trying to rebuild and they're doing a pretty good job with it. I mean, they got Miko Satomura from Japan, and that woman is a legend, and she had a women's title match either upcoming or this week. I can't remember. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm dying to see it. Like they're bringing in some names, they're retooling, they're rebuilding, and I don't think they're done because they still got a lot of guys, but it's definitely something. It's more of a work in progress than it was pre-pandemic and pre-speaking out movement, because that shine a light on a lot of people. I still can't believe Jordan Devlin got in the building in NXT. Like, like if I'm just being real, I gotta say that. But they've had some bad luck. They are the NWA of WWE. Like of the entire.
I don't ever want to hear. Don't ever say that again.
They were on their, but they were on their way up. They were looking good, and then pandemic hit and just kicked the living shit out of them. And they got like insult, like salt in the wound with the speaking out movement and all these names popping up. So they had it just, they had it almost just as bad as NWA did, and they're trying to build back up like NWA is. So hopefully they get there too, because it's a great. Like I used to watch it religiously. It's a great show. I need to get back to it.
I mean, they were in a sweet spot.
Take my money for that match, right? Fuck yeah, Karrion Kross versus Walter. Like right now, we're gonna be doing a live watch along, and I will pay whatever it is. And I
mean, don't get me wrong. The UK and NXT UK was in a really sweet spot because they had like their usual brand, but they could bring in folks from Evolve. And I guess I'm not sure how that agreement works, but it allowed them to use a lot more UK talent that kind of came in and who at some point the WWE would poach.
There's one thing for like WWE to buy Evolve and ICW and that kind of stuff, but at the same time, they all got their asses whipped by the pandemic too, so they're not helping NXT UK that much.
No, they're not. So,
unfortunately.
But we'll see. Like I said, honestly, we'll see how it goes. I mean, that Cross Walter move though, I really do need to see that now that you mentioned it, because
I want to see it. Like I want them to bring back. If Trips, if you're watching, call UK, oh god, I can't remember his name now.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, Brookside, Robbie Brookside. Call Robbie Brookside. Tell him you want to do When Worlds Collide. The main event is going to be Karrion Kross versus Walter, and then just give me a shout out on social media and plug the podcast. That's all I ask.
I mean, technically, that's you being a booker, so you might want to ask for a check too.
I know. That's what I mean. You can keep the money. Just plug the show. We'll get all these followers and subscribers. Next thing you know, we'll be monetized, and I don't need to check. So, see, I'm always hustling. I'm always thinking. It's a win-win because he saves that money. He gets a great match. People pop for it. They all turn out to watch. They can bring a crowd back in, so now they got a sold-out show. And at the same time, I'm in a better spot too.
All right.
But it should be an interesting pay-per-view. And as I mentioned at the very beginning of the live stream, I think before Wendy even showed up, I didn't get a chance to today, but Wendy and I are going to share, since we share a brain, we're going to literally put our heads together. We're going to come up with a form for TakeOver. We're going to put it out because we missed Double or Nothing with Wendy being in Facebook jail and all.
That's
again.
Lock up.
She's now a two-time felon since the show started, but we still love her.
I am a repeat offender. I repeat, I will offend again.
And why is nobody watching this shocked?
Nobody
here is. If you are shocked, you are watching us for the first time, and welcome to Top Rope.
I'm already making her take with the file.
Also, if you can tell me what movie that's from, you get bonus points in my book.
What is it? Say it again.
I am a repeat offender. I repeat, I will offend again. And if you have to Google it.
I mean, the sad part was I'm over here going, I feel like that's just Wendy's life mode. That's that life call right there.
That's my life motto right there.
That's like her credo.
That's what I live by.
I want to say it's Tu Wong Fu, but I don't think that's right.
Oh, also
it sounded like something John Leguizamo and Drag would say.
And again, I mentioned this. Can I mention this earlier? There are very few moments in wrestling where I'm generally like excited and giggle, and I'm gonna give this week to Will Hobbs because I don't think you understand how happy and how many times I watched that clip of him body slamming some poor dude who was just like, I'm just trying to get a day's check 9 times. He not only screws over the dude,
you're gonna have to give me 2 checks for this one.
But the fans as well who were counting to 10. He goes, nope.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, that's damn near brilliant right there.
It really was. I'm telling you, that dude that he slammed should have been like, you know what? I'm gonna need a bonus check for this.
Also, I owe Bruce an apology.
Oh wow.
We talked about this before. My hatred and annoyance with MJF. Watching that Stadium Stampede and start that over. The lead up to the Stadium Stampede, from the moment the Pinnacle was formed and the lead up to the Stampede and the Stampede itself, MJF showed me more in that moment than I ever thought he was possible of doing. I thought that dude was strictly mid-carder, and he had maybe at least 2 or 3 more years before he could be main event material. I saw that in promos, that match where he's like just this Weasley little bastard trying to run, but being like a great fighter, but a great leader.
Because I was going to say, we were going to segue into the Dynamite preview, but I guess we could talk about this real quick. Does anybody feel like maybe the Stadium Stampede shouldn't have been the main event of Double or Nothing?
Hell no.
No, I totally was
okay. Because there's, there are a group of people, in the wrestling community who thought like, why would you end it with a Stadium Stampede? And I was like, did you see it? It was fucking brilliant. Like, it was better than the first one. Like, and the whole show, and not only with MJF in the main event, but Sammy Guevara standing tall as the show went off the air. And if this is not the culmination of a year plus long story of him with Sash comments and the therapy and suspensions, coming all the way back, quitting the Inner Circle, coming back, surrendering to MJF before he threw Jericho off the cage anyway, which I knew was coming. This is like, look up the term long-term story building, and you're gonna see a picture of Sammy Guevara right next to it.
Did they not put over a homegrown talent?
They did.
In the main event of their biggest pay-per-view?
They did.
Oh, okay, I'm just checking.
That was the other part of it.
Keep in mind also,
but that is true.
Well, keep in mind also, in the last Stadium Stampede, who got pinned to lose the match against them? Sammy, the one who lost last.
So say this is a long-term story build. When you go back to the first one, and then you go back to what happened to Sammy during the speaking out movement, and then the quitting of the Inner Circle, coming back, being the one that basically cost him the match of Blood and Guts, to standing tall at Double or Nothing, like that. That is like 2 seasons of a soap opera in 1 year. All we needed was somebody with a bastard child of Sammy at the end, and it would have been a full-on soap opera.
I mean, keep in mind also, there was also that weird Impact storyline where
that's the one that fell through. Yes, where he was gonna, like, I don't know, he was gonna be like, instead of him being in that triple threat, it was Black Taurus and Ace Austin, and I can't remember the third person now.
So I was actually happy for Sammy at that point. And honestly, that was him. And again, also, I gotta say, that match, that lead up as well, Wardlow, that they finally let that man come out of his shell. Yep. He spoke great, and the match he had with High Waters was killing me.
I loved the fact that they actually let him stop dressing like MJF, like no more scarf, no more Burberry ties, just rock your own suit, have your own time on the mic, have your own time in the spotlight fighting Jake Hager and putting him through a fucking wall in the Stampede match, that kind of stuff.
It was like that was the time I wish Wendy was out of jail because Lord only knows what you were saying.
I know. I wanted the reaction so bad. I really did. We were talking about.
I've been saying it.
We were talking about doing like a watch along.
The promo, the man can do it all. If you watch all his stuff in the indies before he came,
she has.
Yes, she did.
She said it. Check tape.
She been a Wardlow mark hard. Like
I know she's been a Wardlow.
Oh,
she's been a Ward hoe. Is what she. But the thing about it is she's not wrong. She has said from almost the beginning of this show that like Wardlow has all the tools, and we just kind of played it off like sure Jan because she was such a mark. She was a Ward hoe. We knew it, and
it's a surprise. That ain't nothing.
It wasn't wrong. He pretty much does. Like,
I mean, him and Hager. That was one of my highlights from the Stadium Stampede. Watching them two go, and I mean Hager did okay, but I'm sitting here just going, that dude's. He is scary.
Like this motherfucker.
This is scary.
I think the one of the coolest scenes or parts in the damn Stampede was when Spears was sitting in that room of chairs, tapping chair on the floor. Wait, that was so.
It was awesome. It was great. That's probably, you know, I know it's sad to say, but that's got to be outside of busting Cody open. That's got to be like the best moment in Sean Spears' career, right there. Just that.
I think there's
cut
more
to, and he's in the chair, and all the chairs around him. And he's just got that mean mug on his face.
Keep in mind, also, they haven't let him be that guy since he first started.
No,
like they haven't let him do that. Like he cracked Cody open, and then they go to a storyline where he got Tully Blanchard on his crotch.
Can we say Sean Spears was the original Lance Archer because like they had plans for him and then they fell through, and then it was just like, oh, we have to quickly like course correct, do this, do that, do it the other, keep him on TV, keep him in the ring, and they didn't know exactly what the fuck to do with him because if you remember, he was like on the way up. They were looking for a tag team partner for him, the whole nine, and then all of a sudden, pandemic hit. They cut that and they handed him a fucking glove instead. And I'm not saying it was the greatest course correction, but that's how it went down. And from there, it kind of just sat around and stunk a little bit. It didn't really go anywhere. And then next thing you know, boom, he's in the pinnacle with these guys. And lo and behold, now you're starting to see what Sean Spears can be. Kind of like with Miro. You know, when he first came to AEW, people thought he was a goddamn joke, and so did I. He had like blonde hair, he looked like Macaulay Culkin on steroids. I don't know what the fuck all that was. But now when you look at him, you see what Miro was always supposed to be. Maybe not when he first showed up, but now.
So here's an interesting take I had. So as we all know, the news was, you know, Mark Henry is coming, and along with the Big Show.
He's here.
Yeah. One of the biggest complaints we always had was that AEW does not have a big man division. You got 1,800 big mans in the division.
You got some big men now.
But
you got some big men. I mean, not just like Mark Henry and Big Show. Obviously, we don't know how, or Paul. I'm sorry, Paul White.
Yeah, but I'm not.
I don't want to be disrespectful, but and we don't know how much they're gonna get involved. But then you go beyond that, and you got Brian Cage, you got Will Hobbs, you got you got Luchasaurus, you got Lance Archer, you got Miro, you got guys who are big and talented.
You got Mark Henry and Big Show. If you ever want to train your big man division, you got two dudes
that's the chance.
Who could show you how to do it and build a big man division.
Oh yeah. Yep. Oh, absolutely. Like the pieces are there. It's just like with the women's division, and people were saying, well, you know, it's not really built up and they're not really on TV and this and that. And it's like, okay, they're getting there. You got to give it a minute. And you give it a minute, and all of a sudden, like they're on Dynamite twice every night almost, and Sheeta is the longest reigning champion in AEW, not just women, just the whole fucking company. And then along comes Dr. Britt Baker and just snatches that shit from her and joins that top tier of that division.
Yep.
She's gonna be
her division. Don't you forget it. That is her
it is
division.
now.
It's her division.
It is
it's
now.
Always been her division.
They might as well just call it the DMD Women's Championship from now on.
It's been her division.
When she loses that belt. When she loses that belt, they need to come out with another championship that kind of looks similar to the NWA one and just have Britt Baker's face right here. And call it the Brit. We got the Burke. We need the Brit.
I mean, honestly, if you want to talk about development, like someone who started off. We laughed at that woman when she.
Oh my God, yes.
And we were not laughing with her at all.
No, we were not.
Because she was not laughing. We were
and
laughing.
Then she
at
has,
her.
but then I say right now, she had some key rivalries that made it. Her against Big Swole was great. The dentist match was great. Her and Tony Schiavone just hanging out, being friends, and that salon thing was great. Her match with Thunder Rosa. They were
matches the whole ass.
Yeah. Yes. But if the way she's developed, when they gave her a chance, and she was like, "I'm gonna put this work in," to the point where now, when she's a champion, no one goes, "She didn't deserve it." It's not like a Riho.
Oh no.
It's like they gave it to her because she was like, "Who else you gonna give it to?"
She fucking earned that shit the hard way.
So, I mean,
was it they would say on Game of Thrones? She paid the iron price for it.
Yeah. She well, first of all, she'd have put herself on a whole other level when she won that title and kept it and defended it against all comers, including Britt, breaking her nose and everything, the t-shirts and all that shit. She put herself in the top tier that pretty much AEW's women's division did not have. And Britt joined her on the way to winning that championship by just grinding and keep working, keep improving, day after day. You could see it happening week after week. And now she's got the title, like Pepsi Phil said. Like, I don't know anybody that's like, man, she don't deserve that shit. It's too soon.
I mean, I love Sheeta, but I was just like, yeah, it was your time. It was your time.
And I mean, maybe part of it has to do with who she's dating. I'm sure he worked with her too a little bit.
Do you think since she won that title, she goes home and fucks with Adam Cole and says, "Hey, make me dinner. I'm a champion, bitch."
Guess who's she's sitting there on the couch like me right now, looking at Adam Cole, going, "Guess who's doing the dishes tonight? Not me." Gold, baby.
Did anyone see her in oral sessions with Renee Paquette or Mrs. Mockley? They asked her like that. Renee asked her about that. Like and Britt said, "Yeah, I'm way more competitive than Adam is." Like for me, it's like after he did his match and she did her match with Thunder Rosa.
Let me take half a step back to the main event at Takeover in your house. Because we were talking about Adam Cole, it just dropped in my head. I loved the fact that when he came back and he got across his face, he just annihilated him on the mic. He looked at him and he said, you got the woman, and you got all this smoke and black and white and this and that and mirrors, da da da. They do everything under the sun to make you feel special. You know what they do with me to make me feel special? They ring the freaking bell. I was like, oh.
Yep.
Oh.
I mean, honestly, though,
I just want to add, Adam Cole. You know what they do to make me feel special? Not a motherfucking thing. I do it for myself.
I will say this.
Damn.
Adam Cole still holds the record for pretty much one of the greatest scenes in wrestling history. When Keith Lee hit him so hard, his soul caught a plane
the gift
out of
maker.
Orlando.
The gift maker, man.
Always joking, dude.
I
found it on YouTube and I watched it like a million times. It was good.
Still watch it. I still watch it. It's glorious. How can you not? It's one of the best moments in not just NXT. It might be one of the best, craziest moments in wrestling. Period.
And I'm
not trying to oversell it. I'm just saying, watch it, and you try to argue that. But I had to go back to that. I thought that was great. I thought that was tremendous, and at least it put Adam. Even if we already knew he was, it put Adam on that level, just a step above the other contenders in the match. Even if he don't win, like he's telling you, yeah, I'm still up here. These fools might be,
but to your point, yeah. I got no doubt Britt was like, I need some help. Like, there's some moves she needed. I think pretty much
that's cool. Like because there are a lot of people who have a lot of influences around them that they could learn from and work with and gain that knowledge from. Like we brought up Ted DiBiase Jr. And we know Ted's a Hall of Famer. We know he cuts a promo. We know he can work. He's one of the best, most well-rounded wrestlers of all time. And yet his son was not. And you would think, you go, Dad, I need help. But he didn't want to hear it. He was probably stubborn about it. Because if you look at Britt, on the other hand, she's got Adam Cole home. She goes to work and she's standing there next to Chris Jericho, and she's learning from these people. She's got women in the back that she can learn from. She's got legends in the back that she can work from. She's got a very talented boyfriend to go home to, and she's picking up from these people, learning from these people, and willing to do it. That's the big thing, because you can have all the influences in the world, but are you willing to learn from them? And some people aren't, and that's why like Ted DiBiase Jr. They ain't been around in a minute. But Britt, on the other hand,
well, yeah,
just depends on what you're willing to do and how far you're willing to take it.
And I will say this, and y'all feel free to yell at me. It reminds me a lot.
Fine, I will.
But
Bruce needs an excuse.
I know. So remember when Edge came out and they were just like, they pushed him so hard to pretty much make him a main event. And let's face it, when he first started, everyone was just like, no, I'm not buying this.
Just nah.
No.
Yeah, like pre-rated R Superstar Edge, they were trying to like put titles on, put him in the main event, and people were just like, no, I'm not for this.
And then no one, like I said, to this day, I still don't know what happened. Like, I don't know where the switch was. Well, all of a sudden, you were just like,
I'll tell you what happened. Lita happened. Because that's seriously like, well, there's that too, but like, nobody was really taking Edge seriously, and then they brought out that real life thing of Lita and Matt Hardy and Edge, and now people hated Edge, whether it was because he stole Matt's girlfriend or because of the crap he was pulling on TV. So like he was getting real heat, and so now when Money in the Bank, being squirrely, winning these titles, people were like, "You fucking asshole, I hate you. Wait, you must be doing your job." And that's where it all began. And the next thing you know, he's got all these titles. He's a Hall of Famer, you know.
Yes.
The whole nine.
When I watched Britt, it was almost the same kind of evolution. Like we didn't take that poor woman seriously. We did not trust her work ethic. All of a sudden, you're just looking at it going, how the hell did we get here?
Right. Chris Jericho started it for real. Not with.
He had a big hand in it.
Not with.
Because I've said, if you go back and you look,
promo on the boat, it was
the conspiracy promo.
It was during the pandemic when he was on commentary and he was putting her over.
He really hyped her up.
Well, yeah, that too.
And putting her over.
But he also gave her the whole conspirator gimmick or promo, like worked with her, made it hers. But he had done that long ago on WCW with Ralphus, like had a whiteboard and everything. And he just basically turned around and gave it to Britt and made it her own, and she ran with it. And then from there,
honestly, I gotta say it's more Jericho putting her over, because I got to her now. That conspiracy board thing, even though it was funny, it didn't really do much for me. Like I didn't think that for her.
I did. I remember because I think Brucey had said like we should talk about some of the moments that we enjoyed on this show, and I think after that promo, we used to just sit here and yell conspirator at each other every 5 minutes.
Conspirator at people.
Like for weeks. You know, that was one of the funnest moments because you never knew when it was coming, but you knew somebody was about to be like, conspirator.
I mean, my favorite is still her and Big Swan. To this day, I still call Britt Basura Baker.
Yes. I made the meme for it of her in the trash can with the broken nose.
During that dentist office match, I still remember my mom screaming out, "Oh no, Britt, you're gonna lose your license!" Like, what?
It's still real to her, damn it.
I love Mama B. I absolutely adore Mama B.
It's unhygienic.
She's old school wrestling, man. That
is great. That is literally
shout out to Mama B.
Adorable.
Thank you for that.
Hygienic.
DJ misses his abuela.
Honestly, I gotta say, that is one of those matches that is so ridiculous that honestly, the only way it works is if you lean into it. And when she stabbed herself with her own hypodermic needle,
died.
I was just like, that's what I need.
It's been a hell of a ride with Britt Baker. It did not start out well, but you know, it's not always where you start; it's the journey, man. It really is. Because, like, you know,
I'm happy for her. I am genuinely happy.
I wasn't always at this place in my life, and you would have probably thought, looking back on it, like this motherfucker's done, and here I am. So sometimes the journey is more important than where you started from.
She's truly reached like the the Becky Lynch, the man gimmick, like when it first started, like after she busted her nose and then she became the man and she was still a heel and everybody loved her.
No,
like, that's where she's at.
I hear you. I have to see this more. Yeah. Like, obviously the crowd enjoyed her at Double or Nothing, but I got to see it more in front of fans and packed houses and on the road before I really put her on that man level. Because we know Becky was just through the moon over with that shit. Like, people ate it up. And I don't know if Britt's quite there. She's getting there, but I don't know if she's quite there yet.
I mean, the good thing about her is that she has time. Like I said.
But that's, yeah.
Like, think about it. The pandemic is basically somewhat under control.
Getting there.
Yeah. She's getting there, and she's coming out of the fog. She gets to be champion. They got the crowds back. With damn, I forgot the difference having a goddamn crowd was in an audience. Like, even for TV, having them crowds there, dude, it really makes them raise those matches up a notch.
I'm telling you, the best part, like, not that Double or Nothing was a bad show. It was a great show. But the best part of that whole show was the fans in the goddamn stands. I will fight. I know I'm one of them, and whatever, you can call me biased. I don't give a fuck. Go ahead. I'm gonna say it now. I'll say it next week, and I'll say it to the end of time. The fans in the stands for that show made that show. Absolutely made it.
Yes, they did. Although I will say the one
but
thing,
considering we're beyond that, we had a Dynamite, we got a Dynamite coming up. Let's try and preview this because we're getting deep into this show. I'm enjoying the shit out of it. We're getting deep, and I'm getting tired. I called myself the sleepy psycho for a reason. So coming up tomorrow on Dynamite, we will have apparently special announcements from Cody Rhodes and Sting and Darby Allin. And I'm almost wondering what the hell these announcements are going to be.
Fuck.
Like what the hell's Cody going to say? What do Sting and Darby Allin have to announce? Are they breaking up? Is Sting going to announce that he really is Darby's dad and just end the suspense? Like what are these announcements going to be?
I can't speak to Cody's, but I figure Sting and Darby's can only be one thing. They're bringing in a third, and it's going to be Gangrel.
It fucking better not.
That would be.
Here's your Uncle Darby Gangrel.
I can't even complete the thought. I'm just like, that would be.
That is literally.
I'm with you to a point. I think maybe they're going to say, Sting's going to kind of back out of the ring a little bit and just be like Darby's advisor or manager or advocate, like
third wheel again.
Like Taz is, and then they're going to bring somebody in as like Sting's replacement. But I don't know who they could possibly bring in to be Sting's replacement right now.
I mean, honestly, them breaking up, I think is the best call because at this point, it was a good push for Darby to have Sting with him.
Yeah.
In that Double or Nothing match, at this point, Sting's actually starting to outshine Darby.
Oh, yeah.
Darby's getting buried a little bit. Because honestly,
a little bit.
If you watch that Double or Nothing match, they only talked about Sting. Like,
well, it was kind of hard not to.
Yeah.
To be honest. To be totally honest.
But it is a tag match, like, so you should at least like include Darby in the conversation.
No, I understand. I'm just saying when this was, obviously Sting had the street fight and it was cinematic, but this was like Sting live in a ring for the first time since basically Seth Rollins injured him.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not throwing shade. I'm just stating the fact. And that was many years ago. Sting is pushing, what is it now, 62? And you thought, man, what is he going to look like in a ring? And then you saw him and you're like, there is no fucking way this man is 62. And it blew your mind. So of course you're talking about Sting and you're thinking about Sting because you immediately when you think of like older guys in a ring these days, you're thinking of Goldberg. You're thinking of, Brock Lesnar being red-faced and snot-nosed 2 minutes into a match, that type of shit. You're not thinking of a 60-some-year-old man running around the ring and looking like he's younger than me. You just don't. But at the same time, you don't put it past Sting because he's a fucking icon for a reason. Sting was probably a better wrestler than either one of the guys I mentioned ever. Like, when he debuted, he was probably a better wrestler than those motherfuckers were ever.
I mean, like I said, I think we had this conversation where like there are two types of people in wrestling. There are dudes who wrestle, and then there's professional wrestlers.
Sting is a professional wrestler.
He is a professional wrestler. Like I'm sitting there just going,
I
don't want that man to hurt himself. Like I said, I feel like he has.
It's nothing against Darby.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's nothing against Darby, but when you saw Sting do what he did, he blew you away. Mm-hmm. And you hadn't seen it in so long, and people were saying like, yeah, he can get away with this shit in a cinematic match, but what are they going to do when he's in front of a live crowd? Mm-hmm. And he showed you what he was going to do in front of a live crowd, and he killed it. And a lot of people were blown away by that. So it's nothing against Darby. He had a hell of a match too. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, do that shit when you're 62, and we'll be talking about you only in a tag match too.
I'm just glad they didn't
make it to 62, Darby. You're gonna kill yourself.
I'm glad they didn't throw that man down some stairs, drag him behind the truck, put some thumbtacks on him, just
power bomb him on a ramp in a body bag full of thumbtacks. That type of shit. Like make it to 62, Darby, and we will be talking about you.
Bless him. So, I mean. I was acting like I said, the fan for Double or Nothing really was. Everyone came out hype. I mean, there was a part of me that really wished I was sitting next to Grandma Wendy when Riho came out.
Oh, that was another reaction I wanted to see. I wanted to see that reaction, and I wanted to see the reaction when they showed K-Dog behind the bar and Santana and Ortiz standing in front of him. Yep. I was like, because that reaction for me, I marked right the fuck out. I'm not gonna lie. I love LAX. I've always loved K-Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it was like I said, that was a random one. I'm like,
I know it's a Philly reference, but I gotta say it's like in that crappy ass movie Rocky V when he was getting his ass beat, and all of a sudden he saw the aura and the image of Mickey, and he was speaking to him. And he's going, "Get up, you son of a bitch, because Mickey loves you." And he went and he got up and kicked his ass. That was K-Dog at the bar. That was
and the soundtrack.
He brought LAX back to life. Did you see the way they whipped ass after that?
I'm just glad Ortiz didn't have to swim. That's all I was happy about.
He doesn't know how to swim.
But I'm sorry. Sidebar. Moving back to the original, I think I might have an idea what this Cody announcement is. Mm-hmm. Because if you remember maybe a few months ago now, they had announced that Cody and Brandy are going to have their own reality show. Ugh. I'm guessing this week they're going to announce that it's debuting on like TBS and when. That's going to be the big special announcement. Because whenever Cody comes out with a big special announcement, it's never that big and it's never that special. And this would fit that.
I mean, I actually don't know why they need a reality show, but I guess. I mean, I'd be happy if they was like, we introducing these new belts.
Well, I gotta be honest though. I said the same thing. I was like, why did the Miz and Maurice need a fucking reality show? Like, Miz, Maurice ain't been wrestling in like years. Like, why the fuck did they even? And then I watched it and I was like, oh, this is good shit. So I'm giving Cody and Brandy the chance because I had written off Miz and Mrs. and I watched that shit religiously.
I don't know why you would. The man started on The Real World.
It's amazing though. Have you seen that show? It's fucking great.
It is good. I like
it. See, it's not just me.
I watch it.
I mean, my wife was like, "You gotta see this show."
Like extra reality show.
Kathy told me, she's like, "You gotta see this show," and I thought, "Oh god, it's gonna be like total divas and Bellas and all that crap that she watches." So I sat down and watched it, and it was not, and I was immediately hooked.
Speaking of the total Bellas, this may be their last season.
Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the Kardashians are gone, and now they're gone. The world is getting right.
So yeah, apparently
it's like all is coming together in the world. The pandemic season up. The Kardashians have disappeared. The Bellas are going away. Whew, we made it, folks. Well, we officially made it.
So the rumor is that the show's going, like they're officially signed like end because it hasn't been renewed. But that also that means that the Bellas are working on a comeback. Is apparently the other rumor.
Oh no! Oh please no! Please no! God no! No! Stay home. Take care of your children. Stay home. You are divas in the middle of an evolution. Stay the fuck home.
Yeah, it's still up in the air, but honestly, the thing is, with the show getting canceled, they have more time on their hands.
I don't want to look. I damn sure don't want to touch. Stay home.
like I said, I remember that last comeback they did, and at one point I thought, was it Brie almost killed herself and broke her own neck doing a suicide dive?
Doing that tope suicida. Yep. And even before that match, I was like, no, don't come back, stay home. And look what happened. One of them think about the children.
All right. Daniel Bryan. Or I'm sorry, Bryan Danielson.
I guess it would be Bryan Danielson now, but yeah.
So apparently the big rumor is, where the hell is he going? So that's the question I have, because I'm like,
well, if you believe Impact's commercials, he's going to be at Slammiversary. So there's that.
He might be in the audience. We don't know.
There is that. They put they put Yes in the middle of the commercial now, next to like Chelsea Green and Samoa Joe. So if you believe the Slammiversary commercial, and it was pretty accurate last year, but there were even the reports that he was going to be the Joker at Double or Nothing, and then that didn't happen. And by the way, I know it's again, but I'm sorry to hear that Leo Rush had to retire.
Yeah. I mean,
I was actually I was enjoying him thoroughly outside of WWE. I was watching him in MLW, beating Myron Reed, taking the cruiserweight title from Laredo Kid, and then when he popped up as the Joker, I was kind of happy for him. It was like, okay,
I didn't know he got hurt.
It's gonna be cool. I didn't even know he got hurt, because he had a great showing, like outside of that one little botch move, which is where I think he got hurt to begin with. He had a great showing, and I thought there was going to be, a bright future for him, like down the road. Like I would have loved to see Leo and Darby.
Yeah.
Like that would have been a crazy ass match. But unfortunately, we're not going to get that. And he announced this week that he's retiring from professional wrestling. He's worried about his health, and he wants to focus on other things. And go do you, Leo. Whatever you decide to do, or whatever you're down to do from here on out, like, we support you.
Like I said, he did like this really long post about it.
What he said made a lot of sense, though. Like having to think about how his injury affected, how the injury affected not just his wrestling career, but his everyday life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's like something people don't think about. Like, a wrestler gets injured, people are like, oh, he can't wrestle. He can't put on his shirt either. He can't wipe his own ass. He can't lift a child. He can't fucking do anything,
Right. And to be in that position, and obviously struggle with mental health issues the way that he has, that only makes it worse. And that is not something I don't like. Of course, I love wrestling. These guys do it. They take risks. Okay. But sometimes that cost is just, that price is too high. And if you're already struggling to maintain through mental illnesses, and this is only making it worse for you, then it costs too much. The price is too high. No, then retire. You're doing the right thing. There were a lot of guys in Leo's position in wrestling history who chose to keep going, and a lot of those guys either died young, or in some cases died young as a fucking villain, really. And do we really want to see that happen again?
Nah.
Hell no.
So yeah, so like I said, I was glad to see him run. I was happy. I would have been happy, but like I said, as long as he's taking care of himself, it's fine. Like I said, so
definitely.
But if he had a good run, I was happy with him. So
and go back to Dynamite this week. We're finally going to hear from the Pinnacle, so Brucey should be happy.
See, this is the best part, because this is the thing I enjoy most. Because the thing I enjoy most about MJF is he's a petty motherfucker. And
definitely.
I can't wait to see the promo he cuts that he lost. The fact that Jericho came out bragging the night before. Man, I'm pretty sure I almost have wet dreams waiting for that man to just start yelling, being petty, talking about somebody's mama.
All right, Joe. I gotta hit the sack.
Okay.
Oh, all right, Brucey.
All right. Deuces, it's been fun. Phil, thank you for coming on.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Sleep well, bro.
Yeah. Later, guys.
Later.
I didn't even realize how deep we were into this show. That's how hard we were going.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the Pinnacle. As far as matches go, we're gonna have Layla Hirsch versus Nyla Rose with Vicky Guerrero, which is interesting because she didn't seem to be too tight with her on the last episode, and then was running around with Andrade. So
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I enjoyed the last week's bull rope match.
Okay, yes, I did too. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Also, it had my favorite quote, Fuego del Dark.
Fuego del Dark. That poor guy. You know, that poor guy is the greatest luchador in Alabama. In case y'all don't know. So and we all know what a hotbed of lucha libre Alabama is. So for him to be the greatest.
All right. Well, I'm waiting. Like I said, I'm not even sure what the matches are for Wednesday, but I am really, like I said, I'm curious to see what this post looks like.
Because that's definitely one of them. We're gonna have let's see. Oh, it's gonna be Christian Cage taking on Angelico with Matt Hardy in his corner. And I feel like, can we just skip the bullshit and get Christian versus Matt Hardy, please? Like, nothing against Angelico. I love him. I'm glad he's getting some time on Dynamite.
Just step straight to it.
But we all know that's where this is going.
But here's my question, though. Right now, why? There is no reason for those two to really fight.
Well, you know, Christian kind of helped cost Matt Hardy a Private Party the Casino Battle Royal, and then he and Jungle Boy beat Private Party last week, so Matt Hardy's not too happy with him. So now he's gonna start throwing his whole clique up against Christian until eventually, like say All Out, we'll end up getting Matt Hardy versus Christian in some kind of crazy match.
I'm curious about how this Jungle Boy angle is gonna work with Jungle Boy and Kenny.
We had talked about that last week where we said, like, yes, it's going to be a tremendous match and Jungle Boy is going to come out looking amazing, but he's going to lose. It's that simple.
Well, I think the thing I love about Kenny, I know a lot of people don't give him credit for, is he does a really good job of getting people over.
Yeah, we were saying that too.
Yeah, in his promos. I know I was repeating. I watch the show when I'm not on
it. Okay. I appreciate you for that.
So he does he does do a really good job of putting people over when he's doing it. Yeah, they won't win. I know a lot of people complain about Kenny. Man, he literally is called the Thanos of wrestling at this point. I don't care. Everybody can shut the hell up. And so it's not like
got all them gems on the gauntlet and everything. Just looking to add some more.
So, but even with all that, he knows that everyone he wrestles, he has to blow up and get them over, even when they lose. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, that triple threat match, that's New Japan Kenny right there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think on social media was like, if you got it, when AEW started and Kenny was pulling this, I'm a great wrestler, but I keep coming up short stuff. I was mad about it. We even did a little special about it last year. and then all of a sudden the cleaner reemerged and started taking titles and being what I had remembered him being. And not only was I excited, but it clicked in my head that like people had been saying, well, like, how do you bring casual fans' eyes into this when they say, I don't want to watch YouTube or BT or whatever? Recreated Kenny's story in New Japan in AEW from jump. Because Kenny came to New Japan and he was that guy. He was very talented, but he'd always come up that short or be this close. And then he ended up in a tag team with Kota Ibushi. They became, close friends. They won championships, and eventually that tag team split up. And and then after they split up, he went on to join the Bullet Club, become the cleaner, form the Elite, and finally break through to win the championship and, have his clique around him like he does now. They recreated they did a full reboot of Kenny's story on American television because they had heard casual fans. They had heard people say, well, why should I watch YouTube? Why should I watch BT? Why should I go back and watch his matches in New Japan? I've never watched New Japan, blah, blah, blah. And Kenny basically said, okay, I'm gonna give you the whole story in of my, decade plus odyssey in a year or two.
I mean,
all you gotta do is pay attention. All you gotta do is tune in.
I mean, I wish they didn't have Don Callis, but I understand why he's there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand why he's there. And it's nothing against Don Callis. It's just I don't really understand. Like, I don't really see the need for Don Callis in that story.
Really isn't. It's just, Don. He's not lying when he said he was a key to the whole, Jericho and Kenny thing in New Japan, which then spun off and eventually got AEW started and Jericho on the roster. It led to so many things. He had a huge hand in that. He really did. And I think the only, that Kenny got Don involved because
loyalty
and Impact could use the help.
Yeah, that's right.
And Don's an EVP at Impact, like legit EVP. And so, what better way to help a guy who's like family to you than get him national TV exposure, come in and basically you walk in the door and one of their seldom known pay-per-views gets more buys than any pay-per-view in a decade.
That is true. I mean,
like that's why he knows, Don's really on the grind, and Impact has improved in leaps and bounds since Don and Scott D'Amore have taken it over, despite all the Tessa Blanchard bullshit and the pandemic and all that. And in order to kind of help them bounce back, he decided, I'm going to bring Don in. I'm going to take him, bring the Good Brothers to AEW. I'll go to Impact, just to build a partnership and spark that company a little bit after some tough times.
No, it is. I mean, despite the fact that I have no idea why they're still pushing Moose.
I was going to say, I'm not really giving Moose a chance against Kenny, for the Impact title. So I damn sure don't give Jungle Boy much of a chance. I will say this. The match with Jungle Boy is going to be far superior to the match with Moose.
I mean, have you seen the promos Impact have been giving Moose? It's him fighting 5 dudes ready to go free. I'm like,
when did this happen?
He's still not interested.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't even feel like it's Moose's fault per se. I feel like that's just where they put him. It's like, you're gonna be the Lashley we couldn't keep.
Exactly. You are our new Lashley, is what you are. You're just not as big and not as talented, but you are a new Lashley.
Because honestly, I still want to see Sammy versus Kenny. Like, just
I do too.
Straight up, put him in a cage.
When they had that, we're gonna put 6 people in the ring, and the winner's gonna get Kenny. I was like, oh, please let it be Sammy. Oh, please let it be Sammy. Because not only did I want to see it, I was hoping maybe we'd get like this combined like alphabet soup of deathmatch legends between like, okay, so Kenny's got the Elite and the Good Brothers, so Sammy's gonna show up, and then Mox and Kingston are gonna back him up. Eddie Edwards is gonna come back him up, and then all of a sudden, just for fun, we're gonna get Nick Gage to come in too from GCW because he's working for Jelly. So
I just want to see Sammy cut a promo on Kenny and Kenny cut a promo on Sammy,
right?
Just to see, because the thing I love most about Sammy is I'm not sure he's making up some of the shit he talks about.
No, I'm pretty sure some of the stuff he says is a shoot. A good bit of the stuff that he says.
Because I'm over here going.
If you remember, like when AEW first started and Jericho became their first champion and everything, who was the Impact champion at the time? Sami Callihan. And Sami Callihan was going hard after Jericho and AEW while holding that title. He's like, I'm the Impact champion. Bubblies for bitches. We drink beer around here. You let me into that building and I'll show you what a champion is. All over social media. He was taking the war to AEW from the jump. So I was hoping when that match came, like, let it be Sammy, and it ended up being fucking Moose. Oh, damn it!
I mean, like I said, I'd like to see, like I said, the Sammy Kenny match would be ugly, but I think Moose Kenny is more like it's a match people think they want to see, like big dude.
But who are these people? Is what I want to know.
Yeah, like honestly, I'm sitting here just going.
Like I feel like Sammy and Kenny could be a beautiful car wreck. While Moose and Kenny is just this collision of styles that don't make any sense.
And like I said, if Moose could sell or at the very least, give and take as well as
be willing to sell is more of the case because he can. It doesn't mean he will.
Yeah, which is honestly would make me happy. Like with Sammy, I'm saying like there are things Sammy would do for another wrestler. I'm just like, you do know you're supposed to win this, right, Sammy? So it's like I said,
we love you too, Devin.
Like I said, honestly, I will say this I do, despite what Impact's going through, I am genuinely happy with their product. I
am too.
The stuff they're putting out.
I'm mad that I miss it because we record Thursdays. I'm like, why did they move it to Thursday?
And honestly,
we gotta find a new day.
That trip that they did the Jazz was probably one of the sweetest things I have.
Yes, that had me crying.
Yep.
Like no lie, like that had me crying.
Of the people who deserved that, she was one of them. Like to say like underdog would be an understatement for that woman, because I feel like a lot of people slept on her. But yes.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you. And just to wrap up the Dynamite card, because we're getting deep in this and people are tapping out left and right. Let's see. We got what do we got? We got Hangman Page and Dark Order's 10 with -1 at ringside, by the way, versus Brian Cage and Powerhouse Hobbs. Obviously with Team Taz for the moment. But I don't see Cage and Team Taz for much longer. I just don't.
I don't either. Like
it's coming. You can see it.
They're dancing around it, but I don't know what's going on.
Like a blind person could see that. Like, nah, Cage is gone.
I mean, I don't really know what to do with that match right there because that just seems weird. Like I know they have.
It just seems like another way to set up like Team Taz costs Brian Cage again, and he gets mad and he walks out, but he doesn't leave. He just huffs off, and then eventually he tells them like I'm out, and they just jump him and give him the old New Japan beat down on the way out, and then some feud starts from there.
I mean, truth be told, I'm wondering why Ricky Stark's not getting used for.
Me too.
Like, I'm like like I said, his last match was great. And I'm just like, why aren't they using him?
Like every match Ricky has is
great.
But there are some guys in AEW because I'm not saying, but again, I'm not trying to throw shade. It's just a fact. I'm an equal opportunity basher. There are some guys in AEW, whether they've been there for a while or they're just walking in the door, that AEW just isn't using right. And Ricky Starks is one of them. Mm-hmm. Lance Archer is probably another. The sad part was, if you watched, I think it was Dark, you saw Lance Archer squash Zicky Dice of all people. And I thought, here are two people you are not using properly at all. Like, if you want to let Lance Archer squash somebody on Dark, do that shit. But do not let it be Zicky Dice. Unless you don't have him under contract. And then, okay, I get why you're squashing.
I don't think they have him under contract. Also, I hate that man with a passion.
It's weird. I hate him, but I love him at the same damn time. I know Wendy loves Zicky Dice. I don't know if she still does.
Oh yeah, outlandish.
Every time I see that man on camera, I think I got to go to
rehab. Yeah, I can see that. I don't blame you for that.
I mean, on the one hand, I guess he's doing his job.
That'll happen.
Literally, he's got me hating every time he shows up on the screen. So I gotta give him credit for that. So
after last week, they decided to book a trios match on Dynamite where the Young Bucks and Brandon Cutler are facing Pentagon, Pac, and Eddie Kingston. Because once again, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I loved how he walked back up to Pentagon last week and he was like, "Hey, my old best friend." No, he wasn't. You know damn well he wasn't your best friend ever. But way to sell that shit, Eddie. You are the anti-moose. You will sell the shit out of anything.
I mean, honestly, I knew that was coming. At the very least, they didn't let him do the thing where they automatically forgot the hatred that he did into his brother. But that's just a weird trio to put together, man. Like, I like Eddie.
It is a little bit, but they got history together. And again, like Kingston said, because he had saved him the last week, and then they were doing an interview, and he walked up, and they got all mean mugged, and he just looked at them and said, "Remember, the enemy of my enemy is my friend." Mm-hmm. And at that point, you're like, because Bucks took out Moxley, and I guess he's gonna be out until after the baby comes.
Mm-hmm.
Kingston's out here on his own. He's still got this beef with these guys. Now he sees them beating on Pac and Pentagon. And he just says, fuck it, because the enemy of my enemy is my friend. It makes perfect sense from that one little line and that one little segment in the back.
I mean, Eddie,
that is the joy of Eddie Kingston right there.
I mean, one of my favorite things is to go on his Instagram because he will post some stuff that are just brilliant.
Oh, absolutely brilliant.
Oh, speaking of, and this is the one thing, Santana and Ortiz did this one Instagram post that makes me think they're finally going to get the push that they deserve. Basically, it's just them talking about the fact that, we're done with the Pinnacle. We're trying to they're coming back for gold. And I'm wondering if that means that they have a title run coming, or at the very least a push to a title coming soon, which is what
please.
It's
please.
It's long past due.
Because it would be, first of all, it would mean we get Bucks versus them, which is always great.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they do win the belts, then you could incorporate that into this feud with the Pinnacle and FTR, who have been talking all this shit on them. So two things. Yes, give them the gold and have K-Dog come out with them. Come out with them. Just be at ringside. I don't give a fuck how you gotta make it happen. You already made it happen once. Make it happen again. Like all of it, all that. And the last match, I almost feel bad because I know Wendy's a Dark Order fan, and Evil Uno is getting a title shot
against
Miro.
Which
is good news. The bad news is he's getting a title shot against Miro. So,
well, Evil Uno, it's nice knowing you.
He's dead.
There is no way Miro's dropping that belt.
He's dead.
Miro at this point.
I just say I love Miro.
It's like Miro said, you don't come at me when you think you can win. You come at me when you know you can survive. And I don't think Evil Uno knows that walking into this match. I don't think he knows that he can survive what Miro can do to him. I just think he thinks like, yeah, I got to do this for the guys and for Brody and for this and for that. And he's not thinking like, but it's Miro,
I'm genuinely over here just like
Miro beat Lance Archer so bad he beat him right off Dynamite straight onto YouTube, like that fucking badly.
But it was a good match.
It was a great match. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But it still happened. Again, he every week leading up to that match, Lance Archer was on Dynamite. Then Miro whooped his ass. Then he squashed Zicky Dice on Dark. I didn't make that up. That actually happened.
I mean, come on, think about it though. I mean, what is it? You got Dark, Elevation, Dynamite.
And then you're gonna get Rampage in August.
That's four shows already.
Yep.
Which don't cost them that much money to run.
No.
And I gotta say that's
especially because most of the shows they do are recorded either before or after Dynamite, like same day.
Exactly.
So you get everybody in the building, you have all these matches, you record them all, and then you just start, okay, this is Dynamite, this is Dark, this is Elevation, yada yada.
But I mean, surprisingly, they have slowly built up a pretty good franchise.
No, I have.
You got 2 TVs, two web shows, which
I'm getting to the point, and I'm not saying because it's definitely, if you do like a comparison of shows, there's definitely one side is better, but you start to fear that AEW is going that WWE route where they just have all these shows and all these hours weekly, and all of a sudden they just don't have what they need to fill it, but they're not willing to give up those shows. I think Wendy was there for a little bit. If you were in the live chat with me in Clark Street's 200th episode during their live stream, we had started talking about Raw and came up with the hashtag campaign reclaim the third hour. Like just we're taking that back, Raw. You don't need it. You're back your 2-hour show from now on. Reclaim that third hour. We're done. That's the hour of our lives every week that we're taking back. Reclaim that third hour.
Well, here's
I'm afraid we're going to get that way with AEW because I know they're growing and I know they're expanding and it's cool. But eventually, if you don't figure out like, okay, we're going to use this show for this and this show for that, and these guys are on Dynamite, maybe we bring a couple people in from the other shows, like you're going to have more Lance Archers. You're going to have guys that like, yeah, they're great, but what the fuck do we do with them?
Well, here's the thing you have to remember too. They have a different model of WWE. Remember, they also pay like non-AEW talent to show up on the show.
True.
Which is good because you get like, then you'll get like folks who you would see on independents come in. So it's kind of almost like an open mic night sometimes on the website. Which
a lot of those guys, they got tryouts or they got appearances on Dark or whatever, and then like the Acclaimed.
Yeah.
Max Caster had been on Dark a few times by himself, and then all of a sudden they stuck him with Anthony Bowens, and they had them coming out, and all of a sudden Tony Khan liked it, so they signed him as a tag team, and the next thing you know, here they are on Dynamite, and fighting the Young Bucks and being a big player in the tag division, fighting SCU. And these guys were literally nobody 6 months ago. Like there was no such thing as the Acclaim.
Well, that's what I mean. Like with Dark and Elevation, they don't, aside from a paycheck for these guys for having a one night show, they don't invest that much capital into them, like say they would on a television show.
Yeah.
So they can just do it on the web version. It's like you get these guys, they get the exposure.
No, I mean, I enjoy the shit out of, seeing some of these guys and then seeing them, like whether it was the Acclaim or Bear Country. Like I watched them on Dark for weeks and I was like, these guys got it. They need to be signed like today. And unfortunately, I think one of them got hurt, but then eventually they came up to Dynamite and they were feuding with Lucha Express and all that, and I was like, yes, this is what we needed. This is what I've been saying all along, and it's nice to see that. I'm just I'm more of a realist about these things, so I look at it and I'm like, if you keep going this way and you keep adding shows and adding hours and adding matches, eventually you're gonna start realizing that like we got all these hours to fill, whether it be on YouTube or on national TV, and we don't know what the fuck to do. You're going to end up with a lot more guys like Lance Archer, where they're just, let's throw this guy in this match. Fuck it, who cares? But
makes sense. Yeah.
But it's Lance Archer. But fuck it, who cares? Let's just let Miro beat him at the pay-per-view. Like that kind of. We'll put him on Dark next week.
That's a fair point. I can see that being a potential issue.
It's like we were talking about the bull rope match, and Nick Camarado was great in that bull rope match, but what the fuck is it going to lead to something, or is he now going to go back to Dark, or just walk out with QT Marshall or Anthony Ogogo and stand there in his straitjacket looking like the bastard son of Bruiser Brody? It's cool. You're in a main event one week, but then what do they do with him going forward?
I mean, but then again, it's like you said, isn't that always been the problem with AEW? Like trying to figure out how to handle their talent. I mean,
and I'm sure they, and I have, don't get me wrong, I have faith that they can. It's just a concern of mine that eventually, like guys like Lance Archer or Nick Camarado or whatever, who are, I mean, Lance a vet, Nick is young, but he's obviously extremely talented and he's got a great look, and put on a hell of a war with Dustin Rhodes in a bull rope match. I'm sure Dustin carried it a little bit, but at the same time, everybody was like, oh, Dustin's going to bleed in 5 minutes.
Not really.
Meanwhile, Nick is bleeding like a stuck pig and Dustin is clean. And that blew everybody's mind but mine.
I mean, honestly,
I was like, he's from Philly. He ain't afraid to bleed. Trust me. Do I need to get close on the camera, show you the blade marks right here? He ain't afraid. Okay, ain't no scared in Philly.
I mean, yes, I will give you credit. First of all, Dustin did carry that match. Nick Camarado took quite a whooping, but also he put a hell of a beating out there on Dustin.
As that match moved on and as Nick bled and as it progressed, if you squinted your eyes just a little bit, you could almost see Bruiser Brody in the ring. Almost see it.
You ain't got to squint. The man looks like Bruiser Brody. He looks. I keep waiting for him to stab somebody.
Just the way that he moved, the way he fought through the blood and the beatings.
He looks more Bruiser Brody than Bruiser Brody's own kid.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly. It was scary.
Like, I need to put this down a Ouija board. Did you step out on your wife?
We need to find something to Bruiser so we can.
I mean, technically, he was a trap.
We'll do a live stream seance for Bruiser Brody.
I mean,
turn the lights down, light some candles and shit.
I mean, like I said, but he's one of those dudes.
Wendy likes it.
But I mean, he's one of those dudes who I really want to see do well. He's got a good.
I want to see him do well, and not just because he's from Philly. Because when you look at him, you see him, he's got a lot of potential, and that's great. But that's also what I worry about. Like, you put him in the main event one week, what do you do with him going forward? Because obviously, there's guys in his faction between QT and Anthony Ogogo or whatever. They're kind of the main dudes, and you're more of a background player. But you just had a main event match, which these guys ain't had yet.
So here's my question, honestly. Okay. All right, Wendy. So I guess we can probably wrap up a little bit. Here's my question.
Yeah, we're definitely going to wrap this up. Let's get your question if Phil.
So this like the factory and the Nightmare Factory war thing, I don't feel like it's going the way they wanted it to. With Cody having to take care of his wife and a TV show, Dustin pretty much is basically a full-time trainer who visits. There really isn't like a face for the Nightmare Factory to be fighting QT.
Not really, unless you're gonna throw that on like Lee Johnson,
Shotty Lee.
Yeah, Shotty Lee, because like even after his first match, and QT had been working with him at the factory religiously, and he thanked everybody but QT Marshall, and you saw QT's face, and that's where it all began. That's where this whole split. Mm-hmm. So if they wanted to go back to that, I guess you kind of could, but at the same time, like, who's really that invested in either one of those dudes, whether it be QT or Lee Johnson?
In QT's defense, I think he's doing a good job on his end. Like, he's holding up his end of the villain. But it's like Cody shows up sometimes, and it's not his fault. The man has multiple jobs at the factory. Well, Dustin honestly is and I'm not saying part timer to throw shade on him. It's just right now
he picks his spots,
Yeah, and I mean, let's face it, the man has earned it. And like I said, he really does love that school. Like, he really wants that school to do well.
Oh yeah.
So, but I just like there needs to be like you need a full-time face dude to be like, this is the Nightmare. We gonna bring out Arn and have him be the fight.
It certainly ain't gonna be the Gun Boys. That's for sure. Because they annoy the living shit out of me.
I really want to like them. Like, there is a part of me that really wants to like that move, and it's just like I don't know what it is about them. Maybe it's like they're young. Maybe it's because they're young.
I keep trying to like them, and the only thing I ever liked about anything the Gun Boys did was when Anthony Ogogo cracked one of them and he just spit blood all over him. That was the best thing that any of the Guns did in AEW. That was it for me, at least.
I mean, like I said, Billy Gunn's are really weird. Like, I mean, I love him in the New Age Outlaws. I'm not sure how I feel about it, because let's face it, his greatest days was the New Age Outlaws. But I think he's good now. It's just I don't know what his kids can do. Like,
it's nothing against Billy. It's just like, but your kids are kind of, they're a little on the green side, and they're getting this big push because now they're in the Nightmare family and they're on Dynamite and all this stuff. And is it too much too fast? Kind of looks that way sometimes. I'm just saying.
They said the same thing about Randy too, and I mean, he seems to be.
Yeah, but Randy was. you watched Randy in the ring, and as much as I hate him, everybody knows I hate Randy Orton. Okay. But when you saw him in a ring, you thought, okay, this kid's got it. Yeah. Like, he's boring as hell. He says the same fucking thing over and over, but in a ring, he is extremely talented. And you saw that from the very beginning, where with these kids, not so much. Yeah. You can't draw that straight line from either one of them to Randy Orton in the beginning of his career in WWE. Like, you just can't. And so maybe it's a little too much for him at this point. And again, like, you don't know what to do with Lance Archer, but you're throwing the Gun Kids on Dynamite weekly. Maybe you trade them. Trade the Gun Kids to Dark and put Lance Archer on Dynamite. I'm just saying.
Keep in mind, though, the Gun Kids do catch an ass whooping every time they show up, though. So, as in regards to jobbers,
fair enough.
Pretty much just gun jobbers, basically.
But if you watch Double or Nothing, so does Lance Archer.
That was one match.
That was a bad match for Lance though.
Oh,
like he just got like it was a good match, but the finish, man, by the time it was over, he got whooped.
mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, it's I think we all have to sign off for now. Maybe say a prayer for Evil Uno before the match tomorrow and get some sleep for sure, because I was tired coming into this bitch. So I guess since Brucey's not here, I'll do the social media thing. I've done it before. It's been a minute, but please come follow us on our platforms. You can find our group on Facebook. Just search for Top Rope Wrestling Talk. We are a public group. Invite yourself. You get in on all our live discussions, our watch alongs, our prediction forums, which will be coming this weekend for In Your House. You can also find us on Twitter at Top Rope WT. We have a nice following there, including some pretty famous wrestlers, Pepsi Phil himself, a ton of podcasts from the guys from Clark Street, Straight Talk Wrestling, Dirty Heels, Joe Fu in the Ring. The list goes on and on and on. But if you come follow us at Top Rope WT, you're going to see all our stuff. You're going to see all our followers, the whole nine. And we encourage you to check those guys out too. Brucey's Instagram, which he keeps trying to blame on me, and I want to strangle him for. You can find us at top_rope_wrestling_talk on the gram. It's definitely an up and coming platform for us, despite the long ass name. And if you want any of our merch, you've seen our TRWT t-shirts. If you watch this show, you've seen our mugs. We have all kinds of logos, all kinds of different designs. We have men's clothes, women's clothes. We have kids' clothes. My 10-year-old is running around in a Stay Fresh cheese bag shirt today. So you could definitely reach out to our merch maker and tell her you want A, B, and C. She's going to do everything custom for you. And you can do that on Facebook if you search for TRWT merch. Find the page, message the merch maker there. She's got you. If you just say, well, fuck Facebook, that's for old people, which I am. Fine. Go to Instagram, go to TRWT_merch. And you can do the same thing. You can just get in the DM, say, merch maker, I want a shirt. And she's going to tell you, okay, we have these logos. We have this. You can put your favorite host nickname on the back. You want something for your kid. You want something for your wife. We have different designs for women, whatever it is. But you can find us there, and I'm desperately trying to get back to working on a web page so I could just say, come here. I will get back to it. I promise. Shit has been crazy for me.
Work in progress.
Yeah. Shit has been crazy for me outside, like IRL since before my surgery. And it ain't gotten any better. So I will get back to working on the webpage. Wendy, do you have enough internet to tell people where they can find our audio podcast, or do I need to do that too?
I think I do. No, I think I can manage. You can find us on anchor.fm/TRWT. From there, you can find us wherever are distributed. Spotify, Stitcher. I was going to say Sprinkler. Shit. Donkey brain.
Here. Have it back.
Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts. Thank you. You can find us on iHeartRadio, but you have to actually search us out on iHeartRadio, but we're there. So wherever you listen to your podcast, you can find us along with the YouTubes.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you are listening to us on our internationally acclaimed audio podcast platforms, we invite you to come to Foxden Productions on YouTube. Subscribe, ring the bell. You're going to see content from this show, which is the flagship, and a couple other projects that we tabled for now, Drunk Upon a Time and Mutant Rejects. But overall, it's over. The page itself has well over 100 episodes on it, including bonus content that is YouTube exclusive. So if you are listening to us out there, you're going to find like clips and little specials and whatever.
You know
what
would be great for Mutant Rejects? Like as a co-host? Pepsi Phil.
Oh.
Ask a man anything about anything.
We might have to do that.
Ask him about comics.
We definitely might have to. We might have to do that. We might have to make Pepsi Phil a bigger part of Fox Den Productions because he nice. Definitely. And a special thank you. He showed up last minute, and we put this show together last minute, and I enjoyed the living hell out of it. So, thank you for coming through. We will catch you next week. We'll have the prediction form up probably sometime tomorrow. I'm gonna get cracking on it. And everybody enjoy TakeOver in your house. Enjoy Dynamite tomorrow. Enjoy wrestling in general. And
just enjoy wrestling.
Stay safe out there. Get your shots. I'm fully vaccinated. I know Wendy's fully vaccinated.
I've been fully vaxxed.
She was the first one out of all of us. And then I came in and Brucey got it. You know.
I'm waxed. I'm vaxxed and waxed.
See, we're all clean.
I'm waxed. I'm too on work. So
we can be doing this show. We could be doing this show on location live together, and we ain't got to worry about COVID. That's a dope thing. But until next week, everybody stay safe out there. Goodbye, mwah, and good night. Bang.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
There it was. Okay. Catch you next week, folks.
All right, y'all. Be good.
Hey, guys.